He was Yi Ping, Ping as in ordinary, nothing special. He was originally just a regular office worker on Earth, the type who eats, works, and waits for death. Unexpectedly, an accident brought him into this ancient world. After transmigrating for 9 years, he had been tirelessly plagiarizing poems and essays hoping to earn an official position and fulfill his grand ambition. But just when Yi Ping thought everything was going according to plan and was preparing for the imperial examination, something unexpected happened. As he was about to enter the capital to take the exam, he saw a man flying across the sky on a sword, his figure unrestrained and carefree. In that instant, Yi Ping suddenly awakened to enlightenment, so this was a world of cultivation. After realizing this, he was extremely distraught and stammered, What's going on? Don't tell me this world is actually about cultivation." A system voice suddenly popped up out of nowhere interrupting him. Maybe the world building information was entered incorrectly. No worries, just start over from scratch, you've got this. Yi Ping fell to his knees crying miserably. Woo, do you have any idea what I went through these past 9 years? Wah, stop messing with me like this. I don't want to study anymore. Who would still study when they can cultivate immortality? Sob. His sobbing suddenly stopped. He realized the truth. Hey, wait a minute, transmigration? Cultivation? Isn't this exactly how a typical beginner fantasy novel starts? So, my talent must be terrifyingly strong. Spirit Examination Assembly. At this time everyone's gaze was fixed on the massive stone tablet that read in huge characters, "No spiritual root." Yi Ping cried while wiping his tears and muttered, "Damn it, I want to go back to Earth. This transmigration is totally different from what is described in those Beat King novels." Seeing this scene, the nearby girls couldn't help but laugh at him. He sat slumped in a corner, looking dejected, speaking in a lifeless tone, "Woo-hoo, I thought I was the protagonist, have no will to live." Suddenly a middle-aged man's voice sounded, "Young friend, do you wish to cultivate immortality?" Yi Ping quickly straightened himself up and looked at the middle-aged man who had spoken. His face lit up with joy. Finally he had met the benefactor of his life. Qingyan Dao Sect. The middle-aged man from earlier was the sect leader, Taoist Taiwa. With a stern face, he spoke to his disciple, Chan Yu, "Your master has a mission for you." Then he completely changed his attitude, clutching Chan Yu's shoulders and shaking him while crying, "Good disciple, you absolutely must help your master, big event." Senior brother Su Changyu calmly lifted his teacup and asked, "What major events could possibly happen to a small, insignificant sect like ours?" Taoist Taiwa held his anxious face in both hands and explained, "Not long ago, the higher-ups issued a new decree to ban inferior sects like ours, unless we gather 8 stable disciples within a year and be promoted to a 3rd-grade sect." Su Changyu took a sip of tea and gently suggested, "Then we just have to find one more person." Taoist Taiwa cried as he recounted, "It's not that easy. Just yesterday, I went to the Spirit Examination Assembly. All the sects were desperately snatching up disciples, the prices were outrageous. They gave Taoist Taiwan no face at all and even mocked him bitterly. Why don't we chat a bit longer? A salary of 2 taels of silver a month, and you still want to take on disciples, treating me like a beggar. They even shamelessly used honey traps. Junior brother, let's cultivate together." Then Taoist Taiwa finally let out a sigh of relief. "In the end, I managed to pick one up, although he's a complete newbie with no spiritual roots. But fortunately, the person is not bad, and more importantly, he's willing to not take any salary." That person was Yi Ping. Yi Ping at that time couldn't believe his ears, tears welling up as he asked, "Woo, Immortal Master, are you really willing to take me?" Yi Ping's eyes sparkled, his face full of excitement, and he declared passionately, "Money is an external object. As long as you can teach me how to cultivate immortality, I am willing to do anything. Don't think about what the sect can give you, think more about what you can bring to the sect." Back to the present, Taoist Taiwa said to his disciple, "Chan Yu, where can I find a disciple as foolish, oh no, as good as this one? But I'm worried. Once he figures out how weak our sect is and finds out he can't learn anything, he'll probably run away. However, your master has come up with a brilliant plan. Simply put, it's to flaunt one's superiority. You take your fellow disciples and have them take turns fabricating incomprehensible martial arts techniques in their respective fields to teach him, stall for time, After the sect is secured in a year, let him decide whether to stay or go. Su Changyu curled his lips and sneered. Why taking something like this so seriously? Isn't this just faking it? Then Changyu stood up and asked Taoist Taihua, Master, do you know the nickname my fellow disciples gave me in private? Taoist Taihua asked curiously, What? Su Changyu's eyes gleamed slyly as he answered, Trash disciple. With a swish, Changyu's robe fluttered dramatically in the wind. He added 4 more words, Green Mountain Flex King. Su Changyu continued, That's right, when it comes to showing off, in the vast land of Qinzhou, I dare say I'm second to none, no one else would dare claim to be first. After finishing, he lifted his head and laughed loudly, Ha ha ha, you came to the right person for this matter, it's my specialty. Seeing this, Taoist Taihua looked at Changyu helplessly and thought to himself, is this something to be proud of? Then he raised his index finger and gestured, No matter what, Changyu, as long as you can successfully hold him off for a year without fail. Su Changyu raised his hand to interrupt, No. Since I've taken action, dragging things out for just 1 year is far too shallow a goal. To deal with this kind of pure loser, I only need to make a small move. At least from now on, let him only admire the green clouds and not the immortals, and be a person of the green clouds in the next life. Su Changyu lied shamelessly, laughing loudly, making Taoist Taihua reluctantly clap in praise. Oh, is it starting? Not bad, not bad, the king of the Green Mountains lives up to his name. Su Changyu confidently patted his chest and vowed, If I can't finish the mission, I'll eat this sword raw, swallow it with sauce, I'll put my words here first. After speaking he bowed respectfully to Taoist Taihua. If there's nothing else, this disciple will take his leave. I will wait for him in the back mountain tonight. Taoist Taihua nodded in agreement and said, Okay, I'll escort you back with my sword. Su Changyu turned around and waved his hand to decline, no need. Then he turned his head slightly and said, Even a short period of 3 days can make one look at someone with new eyes. The me of today is no longer the little disciple who needed master's guidance. After saying that, Su Changyu raised his hand, startling the little bird beside Taoist Taihua. This gesture, don't tell me. Su Changyu's voice echoed, This prosperity is as you wished. Then he lifted his arm, pointing his finger toward the sky and shouted, Sword, come! Immediately, a blinding light filled the entire room. Taoist Taihua's eyes widened in disbelief as he exclaimed, What the hell is this sword-wielding technique? How is this possible? He's clearly just a mediocre swordsman who hasn't even mastered a set of sword techniques in 10 years. Seeing Su Changyu's smug and confident face, he began to half believe it. In the silence, a gentle breeze drifted through, carrying a green leaf into the room. Taoist Taihua and the bird both stared blankly. He muttered softly, You're not going to. Su Changyu burst out laughing, Ha ha ha, I couldn't hold back, I showed off a little bit. I don't know any sword techniques, I still have to trouble master to send me off. Taoist Taihua helplessly covered his face and murmured, You are really a piece of art, I hope the new junior disciple doesn't go crazy because of you. At night, the summit of the back mountain. In the silent night under the moonlight, only the occasional flap of a crane's wings broke the stillness. At this time Su Changyu sat alone on a rock, hugging himself tightly and trembling. To create the aura of a lofty master he had deliberately chosen this location, but now he sneezed from time to time. Suddenly hearing approaching footsteps, Su Changyu glanced toward the sound and thought to himself, He's here, he's here. He braced himself with his sword and stood up, his legs numb from sitting too long, mentally cheering himself on, Get ready quickly. Nearby, Yi Ping was leaning against the cliff wall, panting heavily, inwardly admiring, The mountain is so high, immortals really aren't ordinary. While still catching his breath, he looked up and his eyes were immediately drawn to a figure. Not far away stood a man about 27 or 28, hands clasped behind his back. The man was handsome, wearing a jade crown and a fine long robe, with a sword hanging at his waist. His deep eyes seemed to contain a sky full of stars. Yi Ping stared blankly at the figure before him. Su Changyu raised his hand, his sword also rose, glowing blue as it hovered in midair. Sword immortal? In Yi Ping's mind, those 2 words surfaced instinctively. Right at that moment, he snapped out of it, thinking, Wait, something's not quite right. A sect that accepts someone like me, completely without spiritual energy, should be a very poor and weak sect, right? Then why would there be such an outstandingly refined disciple? Could it be? This sect may appear to be a small and insignificant sect, but in reality, it's actually a hidden sect of immense power. Everyone in the sect is a powerhouse. Any random person could take me to the top? It really might be true. Just like earlier today, when I just entered the sect with my master, that overwhelming sense of dilapidation. I didn't notice it then, but thinking back now, it really was too much. After all, it's a sect of cultivating immortality. How could it be in such ruin? And even though it was so dilapidated, every corner was unusually spotless. Suspicious, highly suspicious, everything gives off a sense of abnormality. But if it's true that, if he's deliberately staying low profile to remain hidden from the world, then everything makes perfect sense. Thinking that, Yi Ping's heart couldn't help but race with excitement, he blurted out, "There are 3 million sword immortals in the heavens, they must all lower their heads before me. And on top of that, senior brother carries an aura of unmatched elegance." Hearing Yi Ping's words, Su Changyu couldn't help but be stunned. He turned his head, repeating what Yi Ping said, "There are 3 million sword immortals in the heavens, they must all lower their heads before me. You're quite an interesting kid." Su Changyu was secretly delighted inside. "Very good, very flashy enough from now on, you're mine. I didn't expect to casually meet someone and get such a showy poem for free." Su Changyu stretched out his hand. A light began to flow across his palm. "Since my new junior brother praises me so highly, it would be rude not to return the favor." Then the blue light gathered in his palm. "Though I didn't prepare anything, let me bestow upon you a stroke of fortune." A strong gust of wind blew past, causing Yi Ping's robes to flutter wildly. Su Changyu's face grew solemn. He gazed deeply at Yi Ping and introduced himself. "I am the first senior brother of Qingyun Dao sect, and this breeze is in fact a secret technique of creation. It can greatly enhance your cultivation talent." Hearing that, Yi Ping was shocked, thinking to himself, just a breeze can greatly increase one's cultivation talent? How could an ordinary sect possibly achieve that? Then he clasped his hands and bowed respectfully. "Thank you for your great kindness, senior brother. I, Yi Ping, have nothing to repay you with." Su Changyu calmly replied, "Little things." But the hand behind his back trembled non-stop as he silently cried, "Used too much strength, now my arms stretched out." What secret technique? It was just a breeze plain as can be. Su Changyu slowly sat down on a rock and asked, "Junior brother, before I teach you the sword path, let me ask you one question." Hearing that, Yi Ping became thrilled. "A question?" "This is just like what I read in those novels. Before an extraordinary master teaches a secret technique, they always ask a question first." "That's right." Su Changyu's voice echoed in the night. "In your opinion, what is the ultimate form of the sword?" At that moment, in his mind flashed his own smug grin. He, only someone like me, the king of cool, could think of such a flashy question. Go ahead and answer. But no matter what you say, it's gonna be wrong. This way, I can show how unfathomable my understanding of swordsmanship is. I'm number one at acting cool. Yi Ping froze, his brain working at full speed. He kept repeating the question, the sword's ultimate form. Even the way he asked feels legit. A hidden master, definitely a hidden master, almost guaranteed. But how should I answer? This question may sound simple, but surely contains profound meaning. If it were an ordinary person, they would probably answer something like kill a man in 10 steps, travel 1,000 miles without pause. But that's too shallow. But how should I answer? No matter what, I must be cautious, extremely cautious. Seeing the other's serious face, Su Changyu thought to himself, "Bro, I just asked casually, no need to be this serious." An entire hour later, still without an answer, Su Changyu was growing impatient. "Bro, it's been an hour, are you done yet? I'm about to freeze to death on this mountain top." Unable to hold back anymore, Su Changyu spoke coldly. "All right, give me your answer." Yi Ping cautiously gave his response. "Senior brother, I believe the sword's ultimate form is a single blade of grass that can cut down the sun, moon, and stars." Hearing such an interpretation for the first time, Su Changyu was stunned for a moment. He imagined it, a blade of grass. Can cut down the sun, moon, and stars. Thinking of that, he couldn't help but curse in his heart. Damn, I, Su Changyu, have practiced swordsmanship for 20 years. The strongest I've seen could at most cleave a mountain with one sword. but a grass blade cutting down the sun, moon, and stars? That's next level flashy. Seeing Su Changyu stay silent, Yi Ping quickly asked, was that too over the top? I hope senior brother won't blame me. Meanwhile, Su Changyu was secretly impressed while scheming. This kid's impressive, he keeps spitting golden lines, a man after my own heart, this line is amazing, I, Su, am stealing it. He stood up with a profound air and replied, indeed, it was far too over the top, cultivation is about steady progress, junior brother, you're aiming too high. Hearing that, Yi Ping felt relieved and replied, I knew it, I admit my mistake, senior brother. Suddenly, Su Changyu drew his sword and said, how about this instead? He slashed into the air, then turned around to leave while saying, I'll leave you with a sword mark, it may seem like a simple sword mark, but it holds the strongest sword intent in the world. How much you comprehend depends on your talent. I'll return in 7 days. Hearing that, Yi Ping beamed with excitement, admiringly. The strongest sword intent, he's absolutely a hidden expert, it's nailed down, confirmed, I'm seriously lucky. I joined a hidden elite sect by accident. Afterward, Su Changyu hurried down the mountain, secretly delighted. Quickly, find the second junior brother and act all cool in front of him. But as soon as he reached the bamboo forest, a voice called out from behind, senior brother. It was the junior sister. Unable to contain her curiosity, she smiled and asked, what do you think about our new junior brother's talent? After speaking, she gave a sweet and playful smile. Su Changyu replied, junior sister, you're peeking again, she explained, hee, I'm just curious. Seeing that, he suddenly had an idea. What a perfect timing, you'll be my test subject now. Thinking that, Su Changyu put on a mysterious look and said, junior sister, let's not talk about that right now. His face and voice became serious. I have a question for you. Do you know just how powerful the pinnacle of the sword path truly is? The junior sister, completely confused, blinked and asked, huh? Sword path? What does that have to do with me? Why are you suddenly so serious? Seeing her puzzled, Su Changyu continued acting like an expert and explained, let me tell you, the pinnacle of the sword path, with just a single blade of grass, one can cut down the sun, moon, and stars. Hearing that, the junior sister's eyes shone with admiration toward her senior brother. She couldn't help but praise, wow, so cool, senior brother, did your showing off skills level up again? Su Changyu proudly replied, yup, cool isn't it? The junior sister then said, now answer my question. He blinked, your question? Su Changyu again put on his immortal-like aura and said, how long will it take our junior brother to comprehend sword intent? The serious mood shattered as he picked his nose and muttered, how could he possibly comprehend sword intent, when even I've not comprehended it myself? She corrected him, I meant the basic sword intent. Su Changyu instantly replied, no way. The junior sister's face froze as if she were staring at an idiot. Are you kidding me? 2 hours later, at the top of the cliff behind the mountain, Yi Ping was sitting there, seriously staring at the sword mark left by his senior brother. The more he looked, the more confused he became. No matter how I look at it, it's just a normal crack. Where the fuck is this so-called supreme sword intent? Don't tell me I got tricked. Then he clutched his head, shouting in denial, Yi Ping, what nonsense are you thinking again? Everything before already proved he's an expert. It must be that I haven't worked hard enough. Yes, that has to be it. Come on, Yi Ping, keep going. While he was focusing intently, an image appeared within Yi Ping's pupils. Suddenly, a figure appeared within Yi Ping's mind. The figure held a long sword, then began demonstrating sword techniques. Each slash of the sword was firm and decisive. The power radiating from the blade seemed to tear apart the very space around it. It was like the grand chimes of a golden bell echoing beside his ears. 4 sword styles, 12 sword moves becoming clearer and clearer. Then, it felt as if he were personally drawing the sword and practicing himself, and not just once, it repeated over and over again. Once, twice, thrice, faster and faster. The sword moves multiplied endlessly, 12 moves, 15 moves, 20 moves. A flood of insights, even more terrifying than divine enlightenment, surged into his mind. In an instant Yi Ping returned to the present. He looked around in confusion and asked himself, What on earth is going on? Yiping's face was still filled with panic. He tried to calm himself. It must be, senior brother. Yiping recalled the scene from before, feeling emotional inside. I never thought that a breeze could bring such a terrifying boost to my talent. This is far beyond a mere peerless expert. After being unlucky for so long, my luck has finally turned around. I even doubted my senior brother earlier. That was so wrong of me. Calm down, Yiping, stay calm. This is only just the beginning. This sword mark will definitely let me comprehend even more techniques. Let's keep going. 7 days later, senior brother's residence. These various items of all shapes and sizes were none other than Su Changyu's show-off treasure box. After some consideration, he picked up a hairpin. Then, he put on a long robe, feeling quite satisfied with his appearance. His thin lips curled slightly. Su Changyu softly said, "Nice weather today." Then he flung the door open and dashed outside. His voice, full of excitement, echoed, "It's time to act all cool and show off. Let's go. Junior brother, I'm coming." At this moment, Su Changyu hummed one of his favorite tunes as he walked. However, before even reaching his destination, his face was drenched in sweat, his steps faltering. He muttered, "I'm so tired. If I had known earlier, I would have chosen a different place. Anyway, why does everyone think practicing swordsmanship is so simple? This really makes me unhappy." 7 days earlier, junior sister, upon hearing what he said, was startled and asked back, "What, you're saying even you yourself haven't comprehended sword intent?" Su Changyu calmly replied, "Yes." Junior sister couldn't help but laugh mockingly at him. "Wow, senior brother, you're so bad at this. You've been practicing swordsmanship for 10 years, yet you still can't comprehend sword intent?" Hearing that, Su Changyu, ashamed and angry, tapped junior sister's head and scolded, "Bad? If you don't understand, stop spouting nonsense. The path of the sword is nowhere near that simple." Then he explained, "The 4 thunder sword technique this senior brother practices is no lowly, useless technique. It ranks among the top 10 in Qinzhou. Back then, the Taoist Ciji rose to fame across all of Qinzhou relying on this very sword technique. This is the ultimate sword technique of pure strength and blazing yang energy, divided into 4 complete sets: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. If someone could master all 4, they could even summon the thunder of the seasons themselves. And within each set, there are 4 minor realms: initial insight, skilled mastery, great perfection, and supreme attainment." Junior sister heard that and asked, "That sounds impressive. So, senior brother, which realm are you at now?" Su Changyu lifted his chin and replied, "The spring thunder sword already at skilled mastery, 18 moves in total." Junior sister mocked him again. "Huh, only spring thunder? And just 18 moves?" Su Changyu's face turned black with anger as he shouted, "What do you mean only spring thunder? There are just 4 major realms in total. At this pace, I'm considered an elite across Qinzhou, the self-proclaimed elite. I reached skilled mastery in just 10 years, in less than another 10, I'll reach great perfection, and within 100 years supreme attainment." Su Changyu leaned his face close to junior sister's and growled, "When that day comes, you'll see just how powerful I really am." "Got it, senior brother." Junior sister then asked another question. "Then, if junior brother somehow managed to comprehend sword intent on his own, what realm of talent would that be?" Hearing that, Su Changyu laughed heartily and replied mockingly, "Sword intent? Junior sister, you really dare to dream big. In the sword path, techniques are secondary. The true essence lies in sword intent. The more sword intents one possesses, the more you can turn any technique into something miraculous. Even a casual thrust could be deadly. But the 3 great thresholds of sword intent are as difficult to cross as reaching the heavens. The very first realm is the infinite sword intent. Across all 10 nations, there's only one person who's managed to step half a foot into it. They call him the Supreme Sword Sovereign, and every nation treats him as an honored guest." Junior sister curiously asked again, "I'm just saying, hypothetically, if someone did comprehend it, what realm would that be?" Su Changyu waved his finger and emphasized every word with certainty. "Absolutely impossible. Not just junior brother, even Qingzhou's greatest prodigy in the past 500 years, could never comprehend the infinite sword intent." Back to the present, after who knows how long, Su Changyu had reached the mountain peak. Upon arrival, he wondered, "Finally arrived. I wonder if junior brother's awake yet." But when he saw Yi Ping intently studying the sword mark on the ground, he was momentarily stunned. He saw Yi Ping with dark circles like a panda, yet his eyes were filled with determination. Su Changyu thought to himself, what the fuck happened here, those massive dark circles? How long has he gone without sleep? Don't tell me this blockhead kid has actually been obsessing over that sword mark. It's nothing but a gimmick. Now I look like the bad guy here. What do I do? The guilt is crushing me. Feeling a pang of guilt, he sighed and told himself, oh, poor kid, for the sake of the sect, I'll have to wrong you for now. I'll make it up to you later. At this moment, Yi Ping noticed someone approaching and stood up. When he realized it was Su Changyu, he greeted, Senior brother, you're here. Su Changyu quickly put on a serious expression and asked, how's your practice going? Yi Ping nodded with a smile and replied, I've comprehended it. It's all thanks to the opportunity you granted me, senior brother. Su Changyu habitually encouraged him, don't be discouraged. It's perfectly normal for ordinary people to fail to comprehend it. After thinking about it, he was startled and asked again, wait, hold on a second, what did you just say? You comprehended it? Yi Ping clasped his hands respectfully and replied, yes, senior brother, counting this morning's practice, I've comprehended a total of 400 sword techniques. Hearing that number, Su Changyu's face went expressionless, but inside he was laughing hysterically. Ha ha ha, 400? Ha ha ha, are you mocking me just because I've never practiced swordsmanship? Do you think I wouldn't recognize the sword mark I carved myself? The corners of Su Changyu's mouth curled slightly as he thought, this is honestly killing me with laughter, ha ha ha. Yi Ping also noticed Su Changyu's cold smile and felt puzzled. Senior brother, what does that cold smile of yours mean? Inside, he felt uneasy. Could it be you're laughing because I haven't comprehended enough? 400 in a single day isn't a small number, right? Oh, I see. A great master like him must have mastered tens of thousands of sword techniques by now. Then, he fell silent. With your hands-on guidance and the great opportunity you granted me earlier, anyone with a bit of talent could surely comprehend thousands of techniques in a day. Sight, I guess I'm still just too inexperienced. Su Changyu appeared gentle and kind, softly advising, there's no need to lie, this sword technique is profound, and it's perfectly normal that you can't comprehend it. I would never look down on you because of this. Yi Ping quickly replied, I'm not lying, it really is 400 techniques. Su Changyu restrained his anger and tried to calm himself. Enough, please, no one likes empty bravado without real skill to back it up. While Yi Ping was panicking inside, Senior brother, do you think I don't even deserve to have learned 400 techniques? Then he said shyly, although my talent is lacking, didn't you give me a great opportunity before? 400 techniques aren't many, I can still manage that. Hearing that, Su Changyu felt somewhat irritated. 400? Not many? Here's another person underestimating the sword path. At this moment, Su Changyu was really angry. Although he isn't a top-tier expert, the pain many ordinary people endure on their path to growth is no less. Yet, whether intentionally or not, they're often mocked for making slow progress, and no one's heart remains untouched by that sting. After adjusting his emotions, he made a suggestion. Very well, since that's the case, show me a demonstration of the sword techniques you've comprehended. But in his heart, he thought differently. It seems necessary to give him a small but instructive lesson. It will also aid his growth as a young cultivator. Yi Ping respectfully replied, all right. Hearing that, Su Changyu became even angrier. You really dare to agree? That stubborn mouth of yours might land you in trouble later. Advice from a self-proclaimed expert. The atmosphere between the two instantly fell silent. Yi Ping held the sword in his hand, eyes closed. A golden light suddenly flashed and enveloped the blade. He slowly raised his sword and held it upright before him. His eyes snapped open, streams of light like lightning spread out. Then he decisively swung the sword sideways, the golden light flaring and illuminating the whole area. Those sword moves seemed to be engraved into his very blood. The swordsmanship Yi Ping displayed was incredibly swift and fluid, like drifting clouds and flowing water. In just the blink of an eye, he had already performed 36 moves. Yi Ping's movements were so fast that in Su Changyu's eyes, only fleeting afterimages appeared and vanished, making it impossible to follow. Then, his face turned pale, the shock in his eyes impossible to hide. Yi Ping's sword moves became faster and more ferocious. Even after performing the 36 moves, he showed no sign of stopping. Until 108 moves. At that very moment, a sudden peal of thunder exploded in the sky. Su Changyu was completely shocked. Before his eyes, countless arcs of lightning gathered and wove together, forming the majestic shape of a thunder dragon. It was a sight he knew all too well, one that had appeared countless times in his dreams. The dragon's roar. Frozen in place, Su Changyu was so overwhelmed that he could scarcely breathe. He wondered in his heart. The dragon's roar, undeniable proof of, this is the visible sign that only appears when the fourth Thunder Sword technique has reached the Great Perfection realm. For years, my greatest dream has been to reach the Great Perfection realm in the Spring Thunder Sword technique, to hear just once the legendary dragon's roar. Even if I were to die afterward, it would be worth it, and yet this kid before me has achieved it after a mere 7 days of practice. This is impossible, absolutely impossible. Yet the shock was far from over. Barely 5 breaths later, a wholly new dragon's roar resounded, a thunder dragon whose whole body is condensed by green lightning. The Summer Thunder Sword technique's great perfection. Before it could fade, the Autumn Thunder Dragon technique followed close behind, manifesting almost at the same time. 2 dragons roared in rivalry. Summer and Autumn Sword techniques reached Great Perfection realm together. Such a sight had never been seen nor heard of in all history. And still, Yi Ping's sword did not slow, but became even faster. Faster and faster, until his figure became nothing but a true phantom. The strongest strike among the 4 Thunder Sword techniques, the Winter Thunder Sword technique, finally reached Great Perfection realm. This sword's Great Perfection realm gave a sensation entirely different from the first 3. Changyu felt it as though the dead chill of deepest winter had descended. All things withers. It was not until the 432nd move that Yi Ping finally stopped. The 7-day demonstration of his practice had officially come to an end. Thus, Yi Ping had brought all 4 great sword techniques Spring, Summer, Autumn, and Winter Thunder to Great Perfection realm, and yet, Yi Ping did not move. He thought to himself, no, something's not right, I think I'm relying too much on the sword. Then Yi Ping murmured to himself, the formless great Tao gives birth to all things with form. Nothingness is in itself existence. Observe what lies beyond the thing. Ponder the self that lies beyond oneself. That's it, I've been bound by the sword itself. I think, I understand now, senior brother, what you truly wish to teach me. Su Changyu's expression went blank, speechless. Yi Ping brought his hands forward, fists clenched and pressed together, continuing to mutter, let's give it a try, the sword of the commoner. Above, it severs the neck, below, it pierces the organs, it fights like a vicious rooster. But the Emperor's sword is made of the 5 elements, open through yin and yang, and wields all creation as its edge. Then he slowly pulled his fists apart, and a beam of light instantly emerged from his palms. In an instant, a world-shaking explosion erupted. Seeing this, Su Changyu couldn't help but curse. Holy shit, could it be that he had another epiphany just by demonstrating a sword move? Are you kidding me? Am I dreaming? He looked at the scene before him, waves surging in his heart. If the Winter Thunder Sword technique just now gave me the feeling of the very embodiment of annihilation and death, at this moment, the atmosphere is completely opposite, filled with vibrant renewal and new life. Only a moment had passed, yet it felt as if 10,000 years had passed in an instant. Energy surged forth, ceaselessly renewing itself. Su Changyu gazed at the invisible sword before him, feeling that at this very moment, it embodied the entirety of heaven and earth. It seemed that with a mere casual swing, he could slash countless soldiers and war horses. He suddenly realized, wait a moment, this thing, no. This can't be the sword intent. This made Su Changyu's eyes almost pop out in disbelief. Then, the sword quickly vanished into thin air. Yi Ping looked at his empty hand and murmured, oops, the feeling is gone, I can't feel it at all, what a terrifying power. But it only lasted for an instant. He muttered sadly, as expected, my talent really is too poor. Those words. Talent too poor. From Yi Ping felt like a knife stabbing into Su Changyu's heart, cold sweat breaking out across his face. Su Changyu recalled, in my childhood, I was fortunate enough to once witness the supreme sword master of the Great Void, and it was from that moment I firmly chose the path of the sword. At that time, the sword master hadn't even drawn on his spiritual energy, yet the sheer momentum and extraordinary visions produced by his swordplay were almost identical to what junior brother had just displayed. In Su Changyu's heart arose a bold speculation. This is without a doubt infinite sword intent. Such talent can no longer be described as the number one genius in Jin's state, nor even as the number one genius among the 10 nations. With this level of sword comprehension, even without spiritual energy, he could still ascend to the pinnacle of the sword path in the future by relying on magic tools, talismans, and other unconventional aids. Suddenly, Yiping clenched his fists, looked at Su Changyu with glimmering eyes, and spoke with unshakable determination. Senior brother, I know the sword moves I comprehended are nothing special, but I will work twice as hard. Please, don't be disappointed. Hearing this, Su Changyu's heart trembled in horror. Nothing special? I fear my entire lifetime of sword practice isn't even worth your little two. But I absolutely must not praise him. A peerless genius like him must never be allowed to slip away. I have to keep him here. I must keep my composure. I can't let the cool facade crack. Su Changyu forced himself to stay calm, turned his back toward Yiping, glanced back over his shoulder, and replied with a cold tone, Yes, indeed, nothing special, nothing special. Hearing his senior brother say that, Yiping felt embarrassed, muttering softly, as I expected. But where Yiping couldn't see, Su Changyu's face twisted in agony. If that's what you call nothing special, then what on earth does that make me? In his sorrow, Su Changyu's eyes suddenly caught sight of something unexpected. He saw a small book lying on a rock and asked curiously, What's this? Yiping picked up the book, looking slightly embarrassed, and explained, Senior brother, this is merely a notebook of my insights during cultivation. Nothing worth mentioning. Su Changyu asked again, Oh? An insight notebook? Can I take a look? Yiping replied, That's too embarrassing. After opening the first page, Su Changyu's expression turned serious. A dazzling golden light burst out from the notebook, followed by lines of text that came alive, scrambling to escape from its pages. In the first 50 moves of Spring Thunder, Senior Brother wanted to convey to me the truth that white sand in the mud becomes black along with it. In the first 100 moves of Spring Thunder, Senior Brother wanted to teach me the principle that all things generate and restrain each other. Without the lower, there can be no higher. In the first 50 moves of Summer Thunder, the lesson was great straightness may appear bent, great skill may seem clumsy, great eloquence may seem inarticulate, in the first 100 moves of Summer Thunder. As he read the words in the notebook, Su Changyu felt a shock akin to gazing at the starry sky for the first time. He knew every word in it. But when strung together, they became as mysterious and profound as the vast galaxy. Though he couldn't understand them, he was deeply shaken. He couldn't believe his eyes, stammering, all these principles were spoken by me? Yiping quickly replied, Oh, I wouldn't dare claim so. It's merely the shallow surface of Junior Brother's wild speculations. Surely it's not even 1/10 of the depth Senior Brother truly wanted to teach me. Inside, Su Changyu was in utter chaos. Then why the hell can't I understand a single line myself? How in the world did you comprehend this, you brat? Did you just spontaneously comprehend the great Tao out of nowhere? What kind of monster are you? He reflected bitterly on himself. To think that I, Su Changyu, after more than a decade of diligent and earnest cultivation, and I've only just begun to understand the basics of Spring Thunder technique. Yet this junior brother, in a mere 7 days, has completely mastered the entire 4 Thunder Sword techniques to the great perfection realm. He even miraculously touched the infinite sword intent. Su Changyu collapsed inwardly, weeping bitterly in his heart. Born as a human, I'm sorry. He forced himself to calm down, turned around to leave, and said before walking off, All right, continue your comprehension, I'll come back in a few days. Seeing this, Yiping became dejected. Senior Brother's expression is clearly off. Could it be that he dislikes my poor talent and plans to drive me away? The more he thought about it, the sadder he became, nearly on the verge of tears. Please don't. I finally found someone who was willing to take me in. Yiping recalled the past. In the past 6 months, I have joined more than 50 Immortal Ascension gatherings. Regardless of whether they were held by a big or small sect, not a single one was willing to take me in. No sect took me. I can't possibly just stare at the stars alone and spontaneously comprehend the great Tao, can I? How is that possible? He quickly gathered his resolve again, the flame of determination burning bright once more. No matter what, I must seize this chance and never let it slip away, especially since every member of this sect is a peerless expert. Come on, Yi Ping, you can do this. Sect Master's residence. Taoist Taihua's calm voice rang out. The weather's been great lately. Drinking tea and looking at flowers feels so nice. Suddenly, Su Changyu came running in a panic, shouting, Master, Master, something's wrong. He bent over, panting heavily as he spoke. Master, big trouble, really big trouble. Taoist Taihua frowned and asked, Changyu, what could make you so flustered? This isn't like you. Su Changyu said seriously, Master, your long-cherished dream may soon be realized. Our Qinyan Dao sect will finally have our own dragon. Hearing that, Taoist Taihua was stunned, his eyes shining in disbelief. Taoist Taihua asked again, Our own dragon? Changyu, what exactly do you mean by that? With a solemn face, Su Changyu explained, the new junior brother started from scratch, and in just 7 short days, he has brought all 4 Thunder Sword techniques to the Great Perfection realm. Hearing this, Taoist Taihua froze and asked again, Huh? All? Su Changyu nodded in confirmation. Yeah, he's a real genius. Taoist Taihua still didn't believe it, stepped closer, and shouted threateningly, Changyu, such a joke is not to be made lightly. Liars must swallow needles, you know. Su Changyu could only present evidence. The strange phenomenon in the sky just now was the very sign of the 4 Seasons sword technique reaching the Great Perfection realm. Master, didn't you see it? Taoist Taihua's face turned pale as he stammered, I thought it was some expert breaking through nearby. He recalled the scene earlier and muttered, It was actually Yi Ping. Taoist Taihua burst into tears of joy, shouting, A dragon has emerged, a dragon has truly emerged. At last, our Qinyan Dao sect has produced a true genius as well. Then he fainted, completely drained of strength, still murmuring, A genius. Su Changyu hurriedly caught him, yelling, Calm down, don't let excessive joy lead to sorrow, Master. After that, Taoist Taihua poured cold water over his head to regain composure, muttering, Calm down, I almost got myself into trouble. The fortune teller once said that I would have a disaster when I turned 100. Standing beside him, Su Changyu interjected, But Master, if he stays in our sect any longer, won't it hold him back? Taoist Taihua explained, Changyu, you're overthinking it. Yi Ping has already taken part in 50 immortal ascension gatherings, yet not a single sect accepted him. For him, us choosing him is a blessing. For us, it is a benefit as well. Is there a problem with that? He spoke righteously. Besides, we cultivators value fate. Others did not choose him, yet we did. This itself is fate. And have you considered that if he were to join a great sect, would he truly get everything he desired? Not to mention the jealousy of the sect's direct disciples, for example, the intrigues among the great sects, secretly assassinating geniuses to hinder the other side's development. Such things happen quite frequently. Changyu, do not be overly compassionate like a saintly mother. Radiating an aura of righteousness, Taoist Taihua gave his assurance. I am not the sort of greedy person either. Once our sect advances to 3rd or 2nd rank, I will tell him the truth. At that time, whether he stays or leaves will be for him to decide. What do you think? Su Changyu looked at his righteous master and replied, This disciple understands now. I'll listen to the master. Taihua continued instructing, Then it's settled. Remember, you must not expose this matter. The next day, Taoist Taihua was leisurely enjoying tea under the peaceful evening sunlight. Suddenly, Su Changyu came running frantically, shouting, Master, Master, not good. Taihua was so startled he spat out the tea before he could even swallow it. Panting heavily, Su Changyu reported, Again, something big happened. Taoist Taihua's eyes widened in alarm. Then he hurriedly ran off, shouting as he left, I'll go hide in a corner. Changyu, the sect will be left in your care for now. Su Changyu quickly called out after him, Master, it's not debt collectors, it's something else. Hearing that, Taoist Taihua stopped, turned back, and asked, Something else? He kicked Su Changyu hard and shouted, Then why are you freaking out so much? You almost scared the soul out of me. Then the two returned to the main courtyard. Taoist Taihua lifted his teacup and asked, "Tell me, what big thing happened? Is it going to be demolished?" Su Changyu handed him a piece of paper and said, "You'd better see for yourself." Taoist Taihua raised the paper to read clearly. Qingzhou Sect Management Office, effective immediately, to prevent sects from pretending to be legitimate and engaging in scams. All unranked sects within the territory will undergo strict investigation. Within a deadline of 2 months, 10 low-grade spirit stones must be submitted as proof of the sect's legitimacy. Reading that, his face turned pale, sweat pouring down as he exclaimed, "What?" He slammed the table and roared, "We even have to prove our own innocence. Is there no law or justice left, to extort spirit stones without reason and oppress the weak? I will go to the capital to file a complaint." In the world of cultivating immortals, a single copper coin can buy a steamed bun. 10,000 copper coins are equal to 100 taels of silver, which equals 1 tael of gold, and 10 gold taels equal to 1 spirit stone. Taoist Taihua lamented miserably, for the entire Qingyun Dao sect to not eat or drink for a whole year. Only then could we perhaps gather 10 spirit stones. Su Changyu calmly asked, "Master, don't panic yet. How many spirit stones does our sect have in total right now?" Taihua scratched his head and mumbled, well, about that." Then, blushing with embarrassment, he raised 7 fingers and replied, We probably still have about this much." Su Changyu sighed in relief. 70 spirit stones? That would be more than enough. Taihua stammered, Nah. Su Changyu's face tensed in alarm. 70 taels of gold? That would indeed be troublesome, but if everyone pooled together. Seeing Taihua remain silent, he continued, "Wait, don't tell me it's just 70 taels." At that, he suddenly froze slightly and asked, "Brother Sect Master, don't tell me we only have 70 taels of silver." Taoist Taihua awkwardly turned his face aside and corrected, "It's 70 copper coins." Hearing that, Su Changyu was dumbstruck, his mouth and eyes wide open in disbelief. 70 copper coins, how could this be? No matter how weak we are, we're still a sect of some scale. Taoist Taihua began to recount. Here's what happened. Originally, our sect did have some savings, but I thought it would be a waste to keep the money on me, and I happened to hear about a new thing called a cultivation investment fund. Su Changyu was taken aback and asked, "A cultivation fund?" Taoist Taihua continued proudly, "They said that if you put money in, every month you would get returns on time, and quite a generous amount too. Lots of people rushed to join. It wasn't easy, but I managed to secure the right to invest. Not just anyone could invest, you know. But who would have thought? I was eyeing the interest, while he was eyeing my principal. In just a few days, he ran off with all the money." At this point, Taihua broke down crying miserably. "Chan Yu, your master got scammed. Please, give me a hug and some comfort." Hearing this, Su Changyu stood frozen, speechless, thinking to himself, 70 copper coins, 100 taels of gold, we're completely fucked. Perhaps it's best if we disband. Su Changyu has confirmed that the Qingyun Dao sect is really finished this time. Yet even in such dire straits, Taoist Taihua remained determined. "No matter what, I as your master will take full responsibility. If it comes to it, we'll have no choice but to stake everything, even if it means venturing into the Jinglin Mountains. Now that we finally have a true genius, we cannot let the sect be destroyed." Boom! Suddenly a thunderclap shook the heavens, and the sky grew dark. Taoist Taihua's eyes widened in shock at the strange phenomenon. Su Changyu's expression also turned serious. He glanced in a certain direction and said, "The direction of the junior brother's residence. What happened?" He tilted his head toward the sky and continued, "What's that phenomenon in the sky just now? Could it be that junior brother has made another breakthrough?" Although Taihua's face had gone pale, he still waved his hand dismissively. "How is that possible? Even a genius wouldn't advance in such an absurd way. It must have just been a thunderclap by coincidence. Don't overthink it." After returning to his room, Taoist Taihua hurriedly packed his belongings into a cloth bag and instructed his disciple, "Chan Yu, I am going down the mountain to see if I can borrow some spirit stones. Now that a dragon has appeared, no matter the cost, I will never allow our sect to disband. Take care of the sect for me. Most importantly, keep your junior brother steady, take proper care of him, and teach him well. And don't teach him anything randomly." Su Changyu respectfully replied, "Yes, master, you may rest assured." 7 days later, back cliff. Yiping was still diligently training. He stomped his foot hard and leapt high into the air, swinging his sword in a horizontal arc. One strike after another, each slash unleashed brilliant golden lights filled with immense power. Su Changyu watched Yiping in stunned silence, feeling deep awe in his heart. "It's only been 7 days since we last met, and you've already created so many new sword techniques. At this rate, won't he be able to reach the pinnacle of mastery in just a few days?" He furrowed his brow, lamenting inwardly, "Just as I thought. That earlier phenomenon was indeed caused by his breakthrough. If not necessary, I truly don't want to see him at all. The pressure is overwhelming." Yiping glanced over and noticed that his senior brother had arrived. He stopped his training and quickly approached, bowing respectfully. "Senior brother, you're here." Su Changyu maintained his composed demeanor as a senior brother and asked coolly, "No need for formalities. How's your practice going?" Yiping blushed slightly, answering bashfully, "I've just finished comprehending all 1,460 sword techniques, though it took me a while and I stumbled here and there. But I managed to succeed." Hearing that, Su Changyu froze, his eyebrows twitching, tears forming as he forced a smile, feeling bitter inside. "Have you comprehended all of them already? Even my wildest expectations still underestimated you. I'm so jealous." Still, Su Changyu tried to maintain his inscrutable senior brother facade. "Junior brother Ping, listen carefully. Even if your sword techniques reach the pinnacle, that is only the beginning. Beyond them lie sword momentum and sword intent. Sword techniques are intricate, but sword momentum means one strike carries the power of an entire set of techniques combined. Only after you've condensed your sword momentum can you truly be called a sword cultivator. Do you understand?" Hearing this, Yiping instantly lost confidence, his shoulders slumped. "So it turns out, I'm not truly a sword cultivator yet." Meanwhile, though Su Changyu appeared calm on the outside, his heart was pounding wildly. "I have to boast grandly, otherwise, with this kid's talent, I will be exposed in just 3 days. As if remembering something, Yiping curiously asked, "Oh, by the way, senior brother, what realm have you reached now?" Su Changyu looked up at the sky, his tone tinged with melancholy. "Senior brother, I'm not that great. Yet," his voice still carried an unmistakable pride, "I have merely just stepped into the legendary Supreme Realm, the very first stage infinite sword intent." Inside, he secretly chuckled. "Oh ho ho, this feeling of boasting is truly amazing." Boast. Yiping's eyes lit up like stars, excitement brimming in his heart. "Wow, sword intent, infinite sword intent. Just hearing the name makes me feel incredible, as expected of senior brother, truly a hidden expert of the world. In this lifetime, I'll follow you without hesitation." Su Changyu continued his analysis. "Once sword momentum is perfected, one enters the Supreme Realm. The Supreme Realm has 3 stages, the first of which is infinite sword intent. Do not belittle it as merely the first stage. Stepping into this realm already makes one the foremost person among the 10 nations." Yiping was filled with admiration. So powerful. He tried to contain his excitement, thinking, "Wait, doesn't that mean senior brother is now at least the number 1 in the 10 nations? I had imagined how lofty experts could be, but never thought it could be this high. If I learn under him, won't I possibly become the second strongest in the 10 nations? I've finally made it. I never thought I, Yiping, would see this day. My ancestors must be blessing me." Having decided, Yiping clasped his hands and bowed deeply towards Su Changyu with firm resolve. "This junior will surely work hard to follow in senior brother's footsteps, and within my lifetime, I must step into infinite sword intent. When I rise to prominence in the future, I will never forget senior brother's kindness." But Su Changyu could only turn away, enduring in silence. "Stop, don't say more, you're making me even more jealous." Yiping lifted his gaze to the sky, lost in emotion. "This feels as if I'm dreaming. Just days ago, I was still an ordinary man struggling for livelihood, but now I stand within a sect, having already learned sword techniques. Truly, one could say." In that instant, Yiping spontaneously recited, "The evening glow veils Qingyun Peak, while Mount Hung is bathed in resplendent crimson. I wish to master the cultivation techniques of Qinzhou, dining at dawn upon a slice of heaven's wind." Su Changyu glanced at Yiping with suspicion. Unable to resist curiosity, he asked, I heard from the sect master that you were still a scholar before coming up the mountain? Yiping quickly replied, I suppose I'm a half-baked scholar. I've never succeeded in the imperial examinations. My interest lies only in literature and painting. Su Changyu suddenly came up with an idea and suggested, all right, then make a painting for me. Inwardly, he was thrilled. When Xiao Yiping truly rises to fame and success, wouldn't that be an incredible showing-off advantage? Did you see that? The #1 sword cultivator of Jin State made a painting for us. Anyone would be super jealous. Pleased with his clever plan, Su Changyu chuckled inwardly, hee, I'm so smart. Meanwhile, Yiping hesitated slightly and asked, painting? Alright, okay, if the painting turns out poorly, I hope senior brother won't mind. In his past life, Yiping joined an art club to pursue the goddess. After 3 years of diligent practice, he finally mastered painting, but the goddess, however, ran off with a rich second-generation heir. Learning painting can't save you from being single. Back to the present, Su Changyu stood motionless as Yiping focused intently on painting. Bored, he glanced at Yiping, who was absorbed in his work. Su Changyu couldn't help but be surprised. This guy looks surprisingly handsome when serious, just a bit like me. After a while, Yiping handed over the scroll, speaking shyly, Senior brother, the painting is finished. If the painting isn't perfect, please don't mind. Su Changyu unfolded the scroll and replied, Don't worry, let your senior brother appreciate it first. As he looked closely, his pupils contracted in shock. Unable to contain his excitement, he exclaimed, This painting. It depicted Su Changyu standing gracefully in a poised stance. He gazed at the painting, still astonished, and began to describe it. In the painting, the sunset covers the sky. Mountains resemble a paradise on earth, with flowers, grass, and trees so vivid they seem alive. Especially in certain details, the painting looks even more realistic. But the most striking part is still the figure of myself within the painting. With just a side profile, it captures the sharp and overwhelming aura of a sword immortal. It almost felt as if I would leap straight out of the painting and strike the viewer's chest with a thunderous punch. Su Changyu tried to keep his tone calm. This painting is good, I can't find any fault in it. If I must nitpick, it's only that you haven't fully captured your senior brother's handsomeness. It's not your skill that's lacking. Blame it on your senior brother's unparalleled handsomeness in this world. Yiping modestly replied, Thank you for the praise, senior brother. I have always wanted to thank senior brother for his teaching. Consider this a small token of my gratitude. Su Changyu's gaze drifted to the lower right corner of the painting. There was a bright red seal with the name Qinglian Hermit. He murmured in surprise, Qinglian Hermit? You brat, pretty good at acting cool, even made up a fancy name for yourself. Suddenly, Taoist Taihua's voice echoed through the air. Changyu, as your master, I've found a solution to save our sect. Come quickly, come quickly, come quickly. Hearing this, Su Changyu pondered, that's master's voice transmission. Found a way? With so money needed. He quickly picked up the painting and said, I'll be taking this painting then, thanks. Yiping responded, It was nothing. Thinking about the sect's predicament, Su Changyu felt utterly exhausted. At this point, what solution could there possibly be? Meanwhile, at Taiwa Sword Sect, one of Qingzhou's 3 great sects, a thunder dragon roared with immense power, and with every closing of its jaws countless bolts of lightning rained down. This was Sword Comprehension Cliff. Several people knelt on the ground, not daring to move, staring in awe at the magnificent sight before them. One disciple, his face still pale with fear, spoke, as expected of the 4 Seasons ancestor, just a single sword mark, and it's this terrifying. The girl beside him laughed. Stop spouting nonsense, otherwise, why would we all be sitting here? Would ordinary swordsman's sword marks be worthy for us geniuses to comprehend? Boom! A massive bolt of lightning struck down onto the ground. A blonde-haired disciple burst out laughing. I've comprehended it. I've comprehended it. I have finally comprehended it. He stared proudly at the sword mark on the mountain that was still crackling with lightning. Great perfection, so that's all it is. The red-haired disciple beside him could hardly believe his eyes, muttering, Oh heavens, senior brother Su Heng truly comprehended it. That's the great perfection of the Spring Thunder Sword, too strong. A 3-bun-haired female disciple also spoke up. The 4 Seasons Taoist once said, Even for a genius reaching great perfection would take at least 3 years. Senior brother Su Heng has done it in only 1 year. Truly worthy of being among Qingzhou's top 10 sword geniuses. With such talent, we can only look up to him. Everyone's gaze was fixed intently on the blonde-haired disciple named Su Heng. A young man clasped his hands toward the long-browed man and flattered. To have taken such a genius as a disciple, senior brother Mingjian truly has sharp eyes. Congratulations, congratulations. Perhaps, in this Qingzhou Sword Dao tournament, Su Heng might even take first place. The elder laughed heartily, pretending to be modest though his words couldn't hide his pride. Ha ha ha, you flatter me. It's only great perfection, nothing worth boasting about. The young man quickly replied, Senior brother Mingjian, you are far too modest. A middle-aged man standing nearby spoke in a mocking tone. Humph, Qingzhou is full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. To already claim first place is a bit premature, isn't it? Mingjian hurriedly responded. Indeed, Elder Qin is right, how could hunger deserve that? Those disciples of his, though they have only reached initial insight realm after a year, they must be deliberately holding back out of confidence, allowing hunger to go first, which is why they haven't broken through yet. Elder Qin snapped angrily, You brat, how dare you talk in such a tone? Another man quickly stepped in to mediate. All right, senior brothers, no need to quarrel, we're all on the same side. First place may be exaggerated, but this time the sect master has ordered, no matter what, we must secure a place in the top 10. The two men looked surprised, glancing at each other as if to ask, Oh? And why is that? He raised a finger and revealed a secret. You two senior brothers have only just emerged from seclusion and may not know, those who secure a place in the top 10 this time, will be awarded a token to enter the Tai Xian Sword Tower. This revelation left the two completely astonished. He continued speaking. I don't need to explain what it means to step in the Tai Xian Sword Tower and face its trials. Upon hearing that, Mingjian smiled smugly and declared, Ha ha ha, heaven itself aids me, this time, my disciples and I will surely seize a place in the top 10, the sect master can rest easy. Elder Qin interjected again, Humph, don't speak too soon, if some disciple from a small sect really does snatch it away, the shame will be unbearable. Old Mingjian burst into laughter. Fine. If any disciple outside the 3 great sects can truly defeat hunger, this old man will clean your toilet for a whole year. I'll clean it upside down. Residents of the sect master of Qingyun Dao sect. At this moment, Daoist Taihua and Su Changyu were staring at the items laid out on the table. Su Changyu was dumbfounded, leaping to his feet and shouting, Is this what you call a solution for making money? A pile of junk. Is this pile of junk really the solution you were talking about? How could we possibly make money with this junk? Daoist Taihua quickly corrected him. These are our sect's finest treasures, please stop calling them junk. Sell it at the pawnshop. As your master, I truly have no better solution. Let's just try anyway and treat a dead horse as if it were alive. Su Changyu firmly refused. I'm not going. I refuse to embarrass my handsome face with you. Taking this junk to a pawnshop is way too embarrassing. Daoist Taihua persisted. My good disciple, help your master just one more time, this will be the last. When Daoist Taihua's eyes landed on the item Su Changyu was holding, he asked curiously, what's this? Su Changyu responded cautiously, It's a painting my junior brother drew for me, don't you dare touch it. Before he could finish speaking, Daoist Taihua snatched the scroll and bolted like lightning, shouting in frustration, The sect is about to collapse, and you still have the mood for art. Let's sell it together with it. Every single coin counts. Once we have money, I'll redeem it back for you. Su Changyu fumed, chasing after him while shouting, It's not worth anything. Give it back, you old geezer. Lai Kai Pawnshop. As the two stepped inside, the shopkeeper greeted them warmly. Welcome to Lai Kai Pawnshop, esteemed immortals. Please come inside. He rubbed his hands together and asked cheerfully, Are you here to buy or to sell? Taihua replied, Selling. All of them are fine items. Seeing the bulging bag, the shopkeeper smiled from ear to ear. Naturally, just by your aura, it's clear that you two are no ordinary mortals. Alright, allow my humble eyes to broaden their horizons first. I can already tell, without even looking, that these must be top-notch items. But when he opened it, tattered junk, the shopkeeper's face darkened. The image of a seductive maiden caught his eye, making him scream in shock. What on earth is all this junk? Why is there even a porn book here? His face flushed red, and he quickly averted his gaze like a shy maiden. Oh heavens, could this be the limited edition photo album of Ling Yuan, the courtesan queen? Taoist Taihua instantly snatched it back, shouting, wrong one, this one absolutely cannot be sold. He slipped the book into his sleeve, forcing a grin. Everything else is fine, but this one, even if the sect collapses, will never be sold. Su Changyu nudged him with his elbow and whispered, Master, please lend me it to take a look later. Taihua happily replied, ha ha ha, sure. Then Taoist Taihua turned to the shopkeeper. Altogether, I'll sell all these items for just 10 taels of gold, with a discount. How does that sound? The shopkeeper's face turned pale as he shouted, 10 taels of gold? For this pile of junk? Are you crazy for money? Taoist Taihua argued angrily. What do you mean junk? You'd better recognize value. Look at this seat cushion, it's made of golden-toed silk, you got a great bargain, okay? The shopkeeper raised his hand firmly. Go sell it somewhere else. Taoist Taihua immediately changed his tone, smiling. Let's make friends, 8 taels for everything, what do you say? The shopkeeper still refused. No. Taihua's face reddened as he shouted, 5 taels, no less than that. Any less and I'll really sell it to other shops. Su Changyu scratched his head in embarrassment, sighing, too embarrassing, let's leave, master. The shopkeeper's eyes suddenly fell upon the scroll in Su Changyu's hand. Curiously, he asked, may I take a look at this painting? Su Changyu was surprised but agreed, painting? Sure. He examined the scroll carefully and muttered, Suyang rice paper? You two are going too far, clearly, you're not short of money. Why come here just to toy with our humble shop? Taoist Taihua was stunned, thinking to himself, this paper, it's expensive. After examining the painting, the shopkeeper confidently said, I wasn't mistaken, it really is Suyang rice paper. This paper alone is already worth more than 10 taels of gold. The inscription, Qinglian Hermit, at the bottom of the painting left the shopkeeper completely dumbfounded. His eyes bulged wide, his jaw dropped open. He turned to whisper to his assistant, Xiao Luo, come here, I need to talk. Taoist Taihua looked utterly confused. He watched as the two whispered secretly, their behavior suspiciously mysterious. After hearing the shopkeeper, Xiao Luo still asked in disbelief, Second manager, are you certain? The shopkeeper affirmed, no mistake, it's absolutely real. Then the shopkeeper's demeanor changed completely, smiling warmly as he apologized, forgive us, but we must have our head manager appraise this, could you please wait a moment? The master and disciple stood frozen like statues, awkwardly nodding, okay. An hour later, the shopkeeper returned and said, our head manager said, anyone with the eye to bring in such a piece cannot be a novice, so please, sirs, do not joke with us any further, let's be straightforward and discuss a genuine price. Su Changyu, unaware of the situation, casually replied, what treasure, that's just my junior brother's. Taoist Taihua quickly turned and covered his mouth, scolding angrily, shut up. He then composed himself, raised 5 fingers, and said calmly, fine, since that's the case, we won't joke with you either, we want this amount, yes or no, or we leave. Inside, Taihua was grinning smugly, he, judging by their behavior just now, there must have been some misunderstanding, now, it's all about daring. Making 50 taels off them isn't impossible, good thing I reacted fast. The shopkeeper stayed silent for a while, seemingly calculating. Meanwhile, Su Changyu whispered to Taihua, Master, you're far too greedy. Who'd buy a painting for 50 taels? Taihua explained, you know shit, this is called strategy. After a moment of thought, the shopkeeper sighed and decided, fine deal, 5,000 taels it is. Hearing the number, Taoist Taihua smiled smugly. See? That strategy you still need. After a second, his face turned pale as he stammered, wait, just now you said, how much? The shopkeeper raised 5 fingers and smiled. 5,000 taels, you were the one who suggested it. Taoist Taihua looked doubtful. Are you turning it around to toy with us now? The shopkeeper panicked and hurriedly explained, esteemed immortal, why do you say that? Our pawnshop never jokes about business. Su Changyu's face went blank in disbelief. a single painting is worth 5,000 taels? But isn't that just something junior brother drew casually? What the fuck is going on right now? He looked toward Taihua, gesturing urgently. Master, are you still thinking about it? Hurry up and agree, he'll back out soon. Hurry up and take the money and run away. Our sect will finally be saved. Taoist Taihua clasped his hands together mysteriously and said, Sorry, I think you misunderstood. What I meant was 50,000 taels. Hearing that, Su Changyu's jaw dropped as he nearly screamed. What, old geezer, have you gone insane? The shopkeeper asked again. 50,000 taels? Taoist Taihua nodded and replied, That's right, not a single coin less. Su Changyu's face turned to stone, his mind screaming, Master, for God's sake, can you act serious just once? What kind of painting could possibly be worth 50,000 taels? The shopkeeper suddenly burst into laughter and said, What a remarkable sum of 50,000 taels. The head manager's judgment is indeed sharp. You two truly are novice. Alas, it seems we won't be able to snatch this bargain. In that case, let's speak frankly. Although 50,000 taels is an astronomical price, it isn't entirely impossible for Master Qinglian. Hearing this, the two of them were completely stunned. 50,000 taels, not impossible? Taoist Taihua broke out in cold sweat, his thoughts spinning wildly. Damn it, no way. I just threw out a random number to bluff the highest price. What painting in the world could truly be worth 50,000 taels? Something is definitely fishy here. He took a deep breath and told himself, Stay calm, stay calm. At a time like this I must stay calm. Let's go along with him and get more info. Taoist Taihua regained his composure, crossed his arms and said, Right, should have done from the start. To tell you the truth, we already asked prices at other shops. Master Qinglian isn't someone only your shop recognizes. The shopkeeper smiled and replied, Indeed, Master Qinglian is no longer a secret in our circle. He began explaining, though he only emerged recently, he has already been hailed as the most talented person in Jin State. His calligraphy is not only perfected but has also reached the very pinnacle of mastery. And his painting skills are even more extraordinary. Now throughout Jin State, countless women have already fallen enamored with his poem. Many spend sleepless nights fantasizing about his face. And countless once arrogant scholars have humbled themselves, imitating and dissecting his works. His unprecedented style of painting has shattered convention, igniting a renaissance in the world of art. Sadly, by the time his works were discovered, the man himself had already vanished, his whereabouts unknown, leaving nothing but empty traces behind. The world never had the fortune to behold his true face. Since ancient times, scholars have valued reputation above all, which learned man wouldn't dream of spreading his name across the world and becoming a grand master admired by all. But this Qinglian hermit treats such honor as mere dirt and walked away so freely and elegantly. How could that not make us both ashamed and full of admiration? Don't you two agree? Hearing the question, both of them were dumbfounded. Su Changyu thought to himself, Did I hear that right? Taoist Taihua's mind raced. Is he talking about that silly little disciple of mine? Suddenly Taoist Taihua spoke. That's right, exactly the same as what we've heard from others. Su Changyu shot him a glance as if to say, Master, you're trying to trick him. The shopkeeper shifted the topic. Then you must have heard as well. This painting has a major flaw. It is a portrait. Compared to his pure landscape paintings, in which he truly excels, the price differs by an enormous margin. Su Changyu scratched his head awkwardly, thinking to himself, Ah, is that so? I thought my handsome face would surely increase the price of this painting. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. Taoist Taihua leaned over and whispered, Su Changyu, you brat, you still dare to laugh. The price difference is enormous. Su Changyu quickly replied, Master, calm down. He hasn't even said how much we'd lose yet. The shopkeeper held the painting, grinding his teeth angrily as he said, At the very least, tens of thousands of taels have just gone down the drain. What a sheer waste of such a treasure. Hearing this, Taoist Taihua's eyes reddened as he glared at Su Changyu. Good disciple, right now I really want to eat someone alive, completely eat someone raw. Su Changyu whispered in panic, Calm down, master, you'll blow our cover. Taoist Taihua took a deep breath, composed himself and said to the shopkeeper, Enough talk, just name your price directly. If it's lower than the shop next door, we'll leave immediately. The shopkeeper smiled as he named his offer, 10,000 taels, that's the highest price we can offer. After all, it is neither a pure landscape nor adorned with an inscribed poem, so. Daoits Taihua instantly responded, deal. The shopkeeper froze. Huh, you won't even bargain a little? Taihua shook his head. No need. I find you pleasant looking, give me the money. With one hand trading the painting and the other taking the silver note, the two quickly left the shop in a fluster. Su Changyu asked curiously, Master, I thought you'd go try another shop. Taihua explained while walking, this is good enough, know when to stop. With our pitiful strength, do you really think we could escape once word spreads? An innocent man is guiltless, yet bearing a treasure invites disaster. Su Changyu nodded in admiration, Master is smart and steady. At that moment, I hadn't even realized what was going on. Taihua grinned proudly, of course, that's why I'm the master. Both suddenly stopped, their gazes fixed on the silver note in Taihua's hand. Then they both jumped with joy. That's a full 10,000 taels. We're rich, truly rich. In my entire life, I've never seen so much money. Our sect can finally survive again. Daoits Taihua suddenly remembered the earlier matter and shouted at Su Changyu, that's right, damn it, why did you let your junior brother draw a portrait? A portrait? We lost tens of thousands of taels in vain. Changyu cried out in defense. Ouch, how would I know portraits are worth nothing? Then Daoits Taihua looked at the note with suspicion. Just what is Liu Yiping's true background, and how many secrets has he been hiding from us? Su Changyu replied thoughtfully, perhaps our junior brother has difficulties he cannot speak of. I don't believe he is a bad person, or perhaps he himself isn't even aware? But then, what about that Quan Rice expensive paper? Daoits Taihua nodded in agreement. I also feel that boy isn't pretending to be innocent. Since that's the case, let's keep this matter buried between the two of us. No need to pry any further. Everyone carries their own secrets. When the day comes that he wishes to speak, he will tell us of his own accord. Su Changyu found it strange how kind his master was being today. He couldn't help but say, it's rare to see you this serious. Knowing your nature, I thought you'd squeeze out a few more paintings for profit. Hearing that, Daoits Taihua nearly punched his disciple but only said, enough nonsense, let's go. Su Changyu asked curiously, where to? Daoits Taihua turned his head back, his face full of slyness. Since junior brother has helped our sect so greatly, as his master I must repay him with a big gift. Su Changyu frowned. A big gift? Then the two arrived at a tall, majestic building. Su Changyu looked up in surprise. Master, don't tell me you want to go inside this secret Yuan pavilion. Master, aren't you getting a bit carried away? This is the most expensive shop in Baigua City. Daoits Taihua walked in proudly while saying, what's there to be afraid of? This money was earned by junior brother. Since he is a genius, we should spare no effort in nurturing him. After all, it's also for the future of our Azure Cloud Dao sect. Don't be fooled by how your master seems greedy and lustful on normal days. At critical moments, I know what matters. The more he spoke, the more excited he became, his sly smile deepening. In the future, if our sect rises through the ranks, from third to second, maybe even first, it might all depend on him. Su Changyu's expression turned serious as he warned. But this is the secret Yuan pavilion. I've heard it's frighteningly expensive. Taihua waved the note confidently. No matter how expensive it could it be more extravagant than this? Then Daoits Taihua boldly strode into the secret Yuan pavilion, saying as he walked, enough, stop rambling. Act like a rich man. Confidence. The key to being rich is confidence. Inside the secret Yuan pavilion, two beautiful attendants greeted them warmly. Welcome to our secret Yuan pavilion, esteemed immortals, please come inside. Taihua's face flushed red, feeling an indescribable thrill. Wow, so this is what a rich person's place looks like. Look at this overwhelming grandeur. Now think back to that pawnshop's old greeter. The attendant in purple asked softly, may I ask, are the two of you here to buy magical artifacts or manuals? Daoits Taihua replied with the poise of a wealthy man, manuals, the best ones. What's the approximate price range? She smiled sweetly. I can tell at a glance that you want to buy the best ones. The attendant in red beamed as she reported. A full set of first-rank manuals in our store costs around several 100,000 taels of gold. That's the discounted price for our anniversary celebration, reduced to 70% of the original. Hearing that, Su Changyu stammered, How much did you say? The purple-robed girl giggled softly. Just over 100,000 taels of gold, sir. Once our anniversary event ends, it won't be this cheap. Su Changyu froze, his heart sinking. Cheap, she actually calls a price of over 100,000 cheap. The world of the rich is indeed beyond the imagination of us poor folk. Poverty has constrained the very limits of my imagination. Dao Taihua whispered, "What are you panicking for? Stay calm yourself, you've got no ambition at all." Su Changyu muttered miserably, "But master, we don't even have enough for one set. I told you we shouldn't have come in the first place." Dao Taihua turned to the attendant. "Miss, could you tell me how much just the introductory volume is?" The purple-robed girl blinked in confusion. "Just introductory volume? Are you sure? Buying just one alone is useless." Dao Taihua said firmly, "Don't worry about whether it's useful or not, just tell me if it's possible." She nodded. "Yes, it's possible, but I advise you to think carefully. Our shop has a strict no-return, no-exchange policy." Taihua continued, "How much for a first-rank introductory volume?" She answered softly, "That's naturally much cheaper." Su Changyu leaned in nervously, whispering, "Calm down, master, don't put on an act just to save face. Spending 10,000 taels on a useless introductory manual is pure madness." Dao Taihua smirked confidently. "Useless, my ass? Have you forgotten just how monstrous your junior brother's comprehension is? The introductory volume is more than enough." Su Changyu's eyes widened as he realized, "That's right, how could I have forgotten about that? With just a casual sword mark from me, he could comprehend the whole technique. With just one introductory volume, wouldn't it be effortless for him to grasp everything?" Then he grinned triumphantly. "Exactly, master is right, for that monstrous brat. The introductory volume will be more than enough, absolutely, this will be a huge profit." After a while, the girl brought out 3 books and said, "I just asked the boss, these 3 first-rank introductory volumes can all be sold separately to you." Taihua pointed at the 3 books and asked, "May I ask, which one has the greatest power?" She smiled and replied, "The greatest power? That would, of course, be this river flow sword technique. It is named so because, once mastered, the sword momentum flows like a mighty river, truly formidable. Moreover, it is accompanied by even higher level techniques that are directly connected to it. If someone has exceptionally fine talent, they might even comprehend the next level, the Spirit Sea Sword technique. However, it is also the most expensive. Even purchasing only the introductory volume costs 9,000 taels of gold." Hearing that, Dao Taihua froze like stone. "Even an introductory volume is this expensive? Fuck it, damn it, I'm going all out, I'll take the most expensive one here." Having made up his mind, he shouted, "I'm buying it, pack it up for me." Then he added, "With the leftover money, get me some top-grade refining pills and vitality pills." Su Changyu asked in a low voice, "Master, do you really want to leave nothing behind?" Taihua, full of determination, replied, "I said I would nurture you with everything I have, so I'll do exactly that, damn it." Su Changyu stood stunned, feeling his master was completely different from before. He laughed and asked, "Master, are you sure you haven't been possessed today?" Taihua's heart ached as tears streamed down his face, and he snapped in frustration, "Shut the fuck up, that's my 10,000 taels." The silver note clutched tightly in his hand made the girl finally speak up, "Please let go. Do you still want to buy something?" Leaving the shop, Taihua clung to his disciple's arm, crying miserably, "It still hurts so much, Changyu. Truly, it hurts deeply." Su Changyu awkwardly replied, "Master, that's enough, you cried all the way here, I find it embarrassing." "Oh right, I suddenly remembered, aren't your second and third junior brothers also taking the Alchemist and Formation Master exams at the end of the year?" Su Changyu nodded and replied, "Seems so. Why, do you still plan on going back?" "We've got no money left," Taihua snapped. "No way I'm going back, and don't you dare mention money to me for the next 2 months, it's unbearable. Come, I'll take you to a secret treasure place." A fat, bald street vendor was shouting as he sold his wares non-stop, "Big sale on manuals, big sale on manuals, sold by weight, 10 taels of gold per caddy, you won't lose or be cheated if you buy." Seeing the master and disciple approach, the vendor enthusiastically asked, "Gentlemen, would you like to weigh some?" Su Changyu froze, his brain loading. "Huh, this is the secret treasure place you meant." Taihua patted Changyu's shoulder and said with a grin, Don't be fooled by the cheap price. You can really find hidden treasures inside. Otherwise, where do you think your 4-season sword technique came from? Then he turned to haggle with the vendor. 10 taels for 1 caddy. Are you robbing me? 10 taels for 10 caddies. If you sell at that, I'll buy. No way. This is good stuff. Good stuff, my ass. Who are you trying to fool? Hurry up. Are you selling or not? If not, we're leaving right now. 5 caddies. At most 5 caddies. While the two argued heatedly, Su Changyu slowly crouched down and glanced over the books on the ground. What caught his eye were bizarre titles and illustrations. Perfect unlocking of the formless phenomenon. 10 dragons, 10 elephants, primordial spirit wood. Late at night, Master's wife knocked on my door. The more he looked, the more horrified he became. What kind of fucking nonsense is all this? This junk can't be cultivated at all. If this can be cultivated, I'll eat 3 caddies of boogers in public. After a fierce round of bargaining, Daoits Taiwa held a large sack of goods in both hands, looking completely satisfied. Su Changyu glanced at him, pointed at the bag and asked, Master, aren't you buying something for yourself? Taiwa replied, Buy. There's nothing I need. Then he laughed heartily and added, I am just a weak old man now. As long as you and the sect are doing well, that's the happiest thing for me as your master. Hearing that, Su Changyu teased, Master, the way you're acting today, so gross. Taiwa, both embarrassed and angry, shouted, Get lost, you brat. You have 7 days to comprehend even the basics of that river flow sword technique, or else you're banned from showing off for a year. Changyu was slightly stunned and asked, Me? Practice? Seeing his disciple confused, Taiwa tapped him on the head and explained, Isn't that obvious? If we just hand little Yiping the manual, what does he even need us for? And how would we keep up the act of being experts then? You quickly practice a bit of the basics, since it's only the introductory volume. You just need brains, then pretend to be the high-level master teaching him. To fill the gap over the next few days, use these street-bought manuals as a cover and trick him into reading them first. Su Changyu hugged the bag, looking blank as he asked, With Junior Brother's insane talent, could he even manage to comprehend anything from these street-bought manuals? Daoits Taiwa burst out laughing, clutching his belly. Su Changyu, are you serious? I knew it. You've been traumatized by little Yiping. You really think your 4-season sword technique came from a street stall? Just kidding. Then he began to explain. While street-bought manuals borrow elements from legitimate techniques, they are nothing but fanciful nonsense. They're not real manuals at all. It's the difference between a made-up story and real history. Got it? Look at these books. Do any of them look like proper cultivation techniques? They're only good enough to fool a complete newbie like little Yiping. Su Changyu continued asking, Then why did you say you'd give them to 2nd and 3rd junior brothers to practice? Daoits Taiwa replied, I was just joking. How could I? Actually, I planned to put them in the scripture pavilion as decoration. Otherwise, if little Yiping wandered into the scripture pavilion one day, wouldn't all be exposed? As for your 2nd and 3rd junior brothers, I'll think of another way for them. Ha ha ha, just the thought is hilarious. Comprehending street-bought manuals. What imagination. If anyone could comprehend from this kind of garbage, then I, Taiwa, will eat all of these books, eat them clean. Su Changyu made a suggestion. How about we trick junior brother for giving us another painting? Then 2nd and 3rd brothers' techniques will be settled too. Daoits Taiwa sighed and said, I've thought about it too, but for the sake of the sect, we've already tricked him once. If we keep doing it, I'm afraid we'll forget our original intention and treat Xiao Yeping as a cash cow. But looking at it from another angle, with just one casual painting from Yiping surpasses hundreds of years of our sect's effort, and for the sect to grow everything costs money. It's just a hard choice. That's why I hate these moral dilemmas the most. Forget it. Let me think about it later before deciding. Then Daoits Taiwa looked at Su Changyu and spoke solemnly. For now, let's talk about something very important. Over the next 2 months, you must give your all to teach him swordsmanship. As his master, I plan to have him participate in the Qinzhou Sword Dao Tournament. Su Changyu was shocked and asked, Qinzhou Sword Dao Tournament? Are you serious? Then, panicking, he desperately objected, Master, don't be reckless. Although little junior brother has monstrous talent in swordsmanship, he still has no inner power yet. He's strong on the outside but empty inside. That's the Qinzhou Sword Dao Tournament. Real fighting there could mean bye-bye to this world, Don't be reckless. Su Changyu once had the fortune to participate in Qingzhou's Sword Dao tournament, where basically all the Qingzhou's top talents take part. He was only there to make up the numbers, yet by outrageous luck, he kept skipping rounds and somehow ended up among the top 500. Right now, Yiping is no more than a baby who has only mastered the most difficult, hardest techniques. If he goes, it's surely suicide. Dao Taiwa didn't explain much and said curtly, "You don't get it. I'll tell you later. Remember, don't go telling your junior brothers and sisters about this. Just say that your master recovered the money that was scammed. Don't say a single extra word, got it?" Su Changyu nodded and replied, "Got it." Back mountain. At this time, Yiping was still diligently training atop the mountain. Watching his junior brother's rapid progress, Su Changyu's eyes welled up with tears, feeling bitter inside. "I only went out for a bit, and he's already learned sword momentum. I'm so bitter, so jealous." Su Changyu felt sour inside, but outwardly kept calm and spoke, "Ahem, Yiping." Yiping stopped practicing and turned around. "Senior brother, what brings you here?" Su Changyu switched into full acting mode and asked warmly, "Has practicing swordsmanship felt dull lately?" Yiping smiled brightly and replied, "Replying to senior brother, I improve every day, so it doesn't feel dull at all." Su Changyu grimaced, sweat dripping down, jealousy rising inside. "Improving every day, does that even sound human?" Seeing him silent, Yiping asked curiously, "Senior brother, why do you ask that?" Su Changyu composed himself and replied, "Oh, it's nothing. I just thought, if you ever felt bored, I could hand you another manual to comprehend." Yiping's eyes lit up with excitement as he dashed forward. "I'm bored. I'm super bored, senior brother." His eyes sparkled with anticipation. "Just one sword mark from senior brother allowed me to comprehend a sword technique. Then if the senior brother gives me a cultivation manual, won't I ascend to the heaven?" Su Changyu handed him a book. "Here, this rare manual is called the Ancient Mantra of Gods and Demons." Yiping's expression turned solemn, full of intrigue. "Ancient Mantra of God and Demons? If it isn't a peerless cultivation technique, how could it dare call itself Gods and Demons?" Thinking this, Yiping's breath quickened with joy. This, if this isn't a hidden immortal sect, then what is? Su Changyu on the other side misunderstood, assuming Yiping had seen through the ruse, and hurried to explain, "Junior brother, this body refining manual was something I stumbled upon by chance in an ancient ruin. Its origins are unknown, but as cultivators, we can't just practice swordsmanship. Both body and spiritual cultivation are essential. You've already missed the prime period for spiritual cultivation, and with such spiritual roots, focusing on body cultivation first might actually be a good thing. With a powerful body combined with your understanding of the sword, you'll certainly be no weaker than those spiritual cultivators." After saying that, Su Changyu felt deeply embarrassed by his own exaggerated nonsense. "Oh dear, what nonsense am I even spouting? I even feel embarrassed by my own lies. Who in their right mind would bother with body cultivation if they could practice spiritual cultivation?" Then he spoke calmly, "If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave. You should carefully comprehend it on your own." But inside he was panicking. "Quick, slip away. If I keep talking about this ridiculous street-bought manual, I'm bound to expose myself." "Perfect plan." Su Changyu grinned slyly, thinking to himself, "Once I learn a bit of the riverflow sword technique, I can come back and put on a grand show again. Just thinking of pretending again. I can't wait. I love pretending. Pretending makes me happy." Night falls. A lone figure was practicing sword on the mountaintop. Yiping swung his sword while pondering deeply, the mantra of ancient gods and demons. His face was filled with excitement. Just hearing the name, it's insanely domineering and cool. Compared to it, the mere four thunder sword technique is nothing at all. I'm itching to start. I really want to start practicing it right away. He tried to restrain his eagerness. But learning requires complete focus. I can't allow myself to be distracted. He silently made up his mind. At times like this, I must hold myself back, stay calm. I first focus on solidifying the four thunder sword momentum before thinking about anything else. No impatience. The scene shifted to Su Changyu's residence. He was bowing his head, studying the sword manual intently in silence. This sword manual had been bought by Dao Taiwa with a large sum of money, and whoever read it first was supposed to grasp the technique quickly, yet after staring at it for 2 days, Su Changyu still couldn't understand a thing. Inside he felt like ants crawling on a hot pan, anxious beyond belief, his mind a mess. What do? I can't understand a single thing from this. Isn't it said that all you need is a brain? Meanwhile, Yi Ping was immersed in cultivation. His figure flickered in and out of sight, with only the golden light from his sword constantly flashing. After half a day of grueling effort, Yi Ping finally mastered all 4 thunder sword momentum. He leaned on his sword, breathing heavily. Despite the sweat dripping down his face, Yi Ping smiled with joy. Now, in this 4 thunder sword technique, only the sword intent remained. He stood up, walking toward the book placed on the rock, speaking softly. Though senior brother never said how difficult it was to comprehend sword intent, I could still understand. Sword intent represents the will of the sword technique. It must never be approached impatiently. Yi Ping lowered his head to the book and muttered, "If you fail to comprehend it, that's a small matter. But if you comprehend it wrongly, that would be disastrous. Senior brother could have given me this manual earlier or later, but he chose precisely this critical moment. Clearly, he feared that I'd be too impatient and comprehend the wrong sword intent." He raised his head to look at the sky, clicking his tongue in admiration, as expected of senior brother, truly far-sighted. Yi Ping quickly pushed aside all other thoughts, carefully taking out the ancient mantra of gods and demons. Opening the first page, he saw a series of words written from right to left. "I am Tao Venerable Moshwan, born before the creation of heaven and earth, having endured 360 million tribulations. At last, I reached unity with the Tao, and became one with the universe." This cultivation method was something I grasped by chance through my comprehension of the heavens and earth. All things under heaven recognize only the value of spiritual cultivation, yet they understand nothing of the true might of body cultivation. They regard moving mountains as its very peak. But true body cultivation allows one to grasp the sun and moon in one's hand, pluck the stars from the heavens, stride across the worlds with mortal flesh, and annihilate all things with a single punch. The highest realm of body cultivation, I believe, should emulate the gods and demons, divine viscera and demon body, possessing divine organs and the blood of the gods, along with the true body of a demon. Only then is one the body of God-demon. Yi Ping forgot to even breathe, his face frozen in astonishment. Divine viscera and divine body, annihilate all things with a single punch? He couldn't even find words to describe the sheer power of this cultivation method. One word: badass. Yi Ping flipped to the next page. But cultivating this method means suffering unimaginable cruel ordeals. It cannot be learned by ordinary people. Only those with indomitable will, great perseverance, and great wisdom could master it. Do you dare to challenge it? A few seconds later, Yi Ping finally made up his mind, his expression full of excitement, a firm voice echoing in his heart. What a joke! What meaning does cultivation hold if it isn't filled with hardship? The title of Bookworm King I earned before transmigrating wasn't for nothing. Thinking that, he opened the 3rd page. Heaven observing diagram. An illustration appeared before him so strange that Yi Ping was dumbfounded. He recalled Su Chongyu's words. Inside this manual is an illustration, the god-demon heaven-observing diagram of body refinement, created by a great master through his profound comprehension of heaven and earth. You must study it carefully. His face turned pale as he looked at the image in the book, muttering, "I understand the logic, but this posture is way too embarrassing. Who would practice such a ridiculous pose?" Still, despite his complaint, Yi Ping eventually struck that bizarre posture. He blushed, gritted his teeth, and tried to comfort himself. Senior brother wouldn't deceive me. Yi Ping, stop your wandering thoughts, stay focused, you can definitely master this. Meanwhile, Jin Nation, Ink Scroll Pavilion. In a residential area, under the lamplight, a girl in a purple dress was writing something when suddenly an impatient voice called out, "Fairymo, is it done yet? It's almost the hour. If the manuscript isn't submitted soon, we will really be in huge trouble." The girl in purple hurriedly scribbled a few more lines and replied, All right, I know, I'm already rushing it, stop nagging." The man continued, "That manual ancient mantra of God and demons can't sell at all. In total, fewer than 3 copies have been sold. Please don't write that kind of manual. No one believes it. These days, cultivators like content that is simple and more straightforward. Look at that bestseller now. How to make a spirit stone work 10 times as hard. That one's selling like crazy. Ferrymo looked annoyed and snapped back, "So annoying, if you keep nagging, just write it yourself?" In her heart, she secretly thought, "I personally quite like that one." Ferrymo then changed the subject. "Oh right, what about that thing I asked you to find out?" The man answered, "I found out. The 10 Nations Academy will officially start recruiting students next year." Hearing that, she seemed intrigued. "Really? That's wonderful, finally, I can go to the academy," she rejoiced inwardly. "Surely, there will be many interesting people in the first university." In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed, and Yi Ping was still in the heaven-observing posture. Suddenly, he raised his head and spat out a mouthful of blood. Yi Ping's face was haggard, dark circles under his eyes, muttering, "I've already coughed up blood 3 times, yet there's no trace of comprehension. This manual clearly says those with talent would comprehend the God-demon heaven-observing diagram at a single glance. So, is my comprehension really too poor?" He refused to give up, staggering to his feet, encouraging himself, "No, it's not over yet again, let's do it again." The harder it gets, the more it tests perseverance. "From today, I will increase my practice time to 22 hours a day, and 2 hours of rest will be enough. If my talent is enough, then I must work harder than anyone else. I won't give up until I comprehend this cultivation method." At noon, Yi Ping still hadn't comprehended the heaven-observing diagram, telling himself, "Think, Yi Ping, you must keep thinking. The simpler a cultivation method appears, the deeper the meaning it conveys. Conversely, the more profound the principle, the simpler it often appears." By midnight, Yi Ping was still maintaining the posture, feeling the heavens and earth, his mind constantly pondering. As the saying goes, the great Tao is simple itself. As for this heaven-observing diagram, if I were to summarize in the simplest way, is it about observing the heavens? Observing all things? Or perhaps it meant having an overall perspective, a grand view? Until dawn of the next day, Yi Ping was still immersed in comprehension. No, that still feels too shallow. So then, what really is the essence? I once read in a book about something called the 3 eyes and 6 perceptions. The 3 eyes seem to be the mortal eye, the heavenly eye, and the Dharma eye. The heavenly eye refers to a kind of supersensory vision that penetrates the material appearance of things, allowing to see what ordinary people cannot see. His eyes turned blue, his brows furrowed as he continued to think. As for the Dharma eye, if I recall, it seems to be a higher level of perception, one that observes and understands the essence and the laws of all things, can't remain limited to the most superficial level mortal eye. His mind worked at full capacity. I must strive to reflect on a higher level, seeking to understand the essence and the laws of all things. Yi Ping murmured key phrases in his mind: the essence and the laws, a higher level, heaven observing, the Dharma eye. Suddenly, all thoughts in his mind halted, his expression froze as if he had realized something. He murmured, "I think I." Yi Ping looked toward the rising sun and softly said, "It seems I have begun to understand a little." Then he raised his head toward the sky and continued, "When ordinary people look up at the sky, they see only the vast expanse above. But what they don't realize, what they call the heavens, is actually innate heart. Both Buddhas and demons view all beings differently because each being has a unique heart." His senior brother, "I get it now. The manual means that within every being resides a god or demon uniquely belonging to them. One only needs to introspect sincerely and search for it." In his heart, Yi Ping reproached himself. "Yi Ping, oh Yi Ping, how could you be so foolish? You nearly failed to attain sudden enlightenment." This time, Yi Ping assumed a different posture, one hand forming a fist raised high, the other pressed before his chest, eyes closed, thinking, "There's absolutely no need to look at the sky. That's misleading. The so-called act of observing the heavens, in truth, requires transforming your heart into eyes to perceive the world within your own heart. Go and seek, go and find. In the deepest recesses of your soul lies your own god or demon." A hot gust of wind swept past, and Yi Ping instantly opened his eyes, then froze in shock, because before him stood a colossal figure with countless arms holding weapons. Yi Ping thought to himself, "Sure enough, is this my god or demon? It appears incredibly powerful." At that very moment, at the back mountain ruins of the 10 Nations Academy, a streak of light swept across the night sky. A rugged-looking man grinned excitedly and exclaimed, "This celestial phenomenon, a divine being descends? Heaven shall not forsake our righteous path." A scholarly-looking man sternly reminded, "How many times have I told you to control yourself?" With an attitude like this, you hardly look like a disciple of the righteous path, you look more like a demon. The rugged man replied softly, Senior brother, sorry, got too excited. The scholarly man glanced at the streak of light and muttered, "Why get excited over this? Celestial phenomena are never absolutely precise. If we truly relied solely on celestial phenomena, the righteous path would have perished long ago." The rugged man interjected, "But, senior brother." The scholarly man, seemingly knowing what he was about to say, interrupted, "Humph, I know that. Let's observe a bit longer." Then he lifted his gaze toward the heavens and murmured, "If it truly is gold, it cannot remain hidden." The streak of light in the sky continued to streak across. At the same time, within the great Xia imperial palace, that same streak of light swept across the heavens. A beautiful girl joyfully exclaimed, "Your Majesty, stars are falling, behold the celestial phenomenon of your reign." She curiously asked, "What if a divine being truly descends into the world, but not within your great Xia kingdom? What would you do then?" The Emperor of Great Xia replied coldly, "I'll just seize it. The entire world will belong to Great Xia, let alone a mere divine being." At the demonic beast's eyes plain, a colossal beast with 2 sharp fangs lay upon the ground. It opened its jaws toward the streak of light in the sky, letting out a deep growl. A muscular man beside it gently touched the beast as if to calm it. His sharp gaze was also fixed upon the streak of light cutting across the freezing sky. Then he broke into a hearty smile. "A divine being descends? Interesting. It seems we of the demon race must double our efforts as well. At Changyu's residence. I've already grown sick of looking at it." Su Changyu collapsed to the ground, tears streaming as he cursed bitterly. "Still, I can't understand a thing. Who the hell invented cultivation, while we're all perfectly fine? Beep." Then he suddenly sat up, thinking to himself, "It doesn't matter if I can't cultivate myself, I've gotten used to it, but the real problem is master." At that moment, in Su Chengyu's mind appeared the image of Taiwa swinging a sword down while shouting, "Return my 10,000 taels, that's 10,000 taels." Remembering that scene, his whole body trembled, his face turning pale. "That greedy old geezer will never let me off." He sighed, "I don't even know what's wrong with me lately." Suddenly, a streak of light shot past, startling Su Chengyu. A shooting star. He pulled out a smoking pipe, took a puff, and fell into deep thought. "As soon as midnight hits, my mood sinks into a deep melancholy. Could this be what they call the midnight depression syndrome? Sigh, what's the point of even being alive?" Not far away, Junior Sister and Su Luoqing were quietly watching Su Changyu. She suddenly spoke, "What's wrong with Senior Brother lately? At this time, he always stares at the stars alone." Then she turned to ask, could he be troubled by something? "What do you think, Second Senior Brother?" The tall man with his eyes closed was the Qingyun Dao Sect's second senior brother, Su Luoqing. Su Luoqing replied, "It must be because the new junior brother's talent is too poor, but as the sect's senior brother, he has absolutely no patience. What kind of a state is this?" Then he stood up, declaring sternly, "Tomorrow, I'll personally teach that junior brother a lesson, and at the same time give senior brother a proper one, so he knows what it truly means to be a proper master." Behind Qingyun Mountain, within Yi Ping's mind appeared the image of a god-demon statue with 12 arms holding weapons, accompanied by ancient resonant voices echoing endlessly. Yi Ping sat there, eyes tightly shut, focused on cultivation. When he opened his eyes, a blue light flashed within his pupils, and Yi Ping suddenly realized, so this is my own body cultivation method. Yi Ping closed his eyes and focused for only a few breaths, yet within his sea of consciousness, it felt as though several hours had passed. The god-demon stood in his heart, its body as if forged from divine iron, indestructible, holding the great Tao of heaven and earth in its hands, spanning the entire universe. Its entire being radiated a terrifying aura that could neither be gazed upon nor directly looked at. And when those all-seeing eyes turned toward Yi Ping, a deafening flood of cultivation information surged like a river into the sea, pouring into Yi Ping's mind. In the present world, the so-called ancient mantra of gods and demons is to take heaven as a hammer and earth as a furnace, absorbing all things to remold the body anew. It is divided into 5 realms: Lesser God Demon, Greater God Demon, Supreme God Demon, Great Tao God Demon, and Great Tao Ancestral God. At that time, the strength of the body will be like a true dragon, the blood and Gi will surge like the blazing sun, and spirit, Chu, and essence will all reach their peak. By using spiritual energy to connect with heaven and earth, borrowing the earth's power to forge the supreme furnace, and wielding heaven's power as a divine hammer to strike the body, tempering it until a god-demon body is forged. This process is extremely dangerous. As the body repeatedly collapses and rebuilds, it naturally requires inhuman willpower. The stronger the cultivation method, the more it tests one's perseverance. This, I completely comprehend it. But to form the heaven hammer and earth furnace, I need a large amount of spiritual energy to connect with heaven and earth. What should I do? I've no spiritual energy in my body at all. You can't cook without rice. However, I have heard that alchemical pills in the immortal cultivation world can generate a certain degree of spiritual energy. But every medicine has its side effect. Since I haven't even stepped into the chi refining realm, I don't know if it's safe, so I can't be reckless. The master said that the second senior brother specializes in alchemy. I wonder if I can go and learn from him. Meanwhile, at second senior brother's residence, another pill has been refined, but I must remain steady, neither rejoice over gain nor grieve over loss. Tomorrow, I'll teach senior brother what it truly means to be a proper master. At senior brother's residence, I can't understand. Not a single bit. Forget it, I will just give up. I won't think about it anymore. If I don't try, failure can never catch up with me. So what if I understand? So what if I don't? In the end, we all become a mound of yellow earth in the grave. It's meaningless. All this talk of success, all this chasing after effort, it's all meaningless. How are you doing, Chan Yu? Have you understood the introductory volume of our 9,000 Tales River Flows Sword Manual yet? Master, what difference does it make whether I understand or not? Letting go of attachments is the only way to find joy. Damn, that blinding Buddhist radiance. What the hell have you cultivated, kid? Master, to report truthfully, I haven't cultivated anything at all, but this disciple no longer cares about anything anymore. Oh, I knew it would turn out this way. Let's go, we're heading to the Jinglin Mountains. Huh! A true life-death trial might help you break through, and it'll be good for your growth. I will go with you. Master, but that's Jinglin Mountains. Jinglin Mountains, renowned as the most dangerous region within Qinzhou, because of its dense spiritual energy, countless powerful demon beasts dwell there. Even if you are a disciple of the Qinzhou's strongest sect, dying there is a common occurrence. While I take you to train, I can also hunt some low-level demon beasts to earn some money for cultivation techniques for your fellow juniors. I've decided not to trick little Yi Ping into making another painting. No way am I going. My life's more important than anything. Shut up. Didn't you just say you no longer cares about anything anymore? One of 3 great sects of Qinzhou, the 4th Thunder Sword Sect. Very good, excellent. In this sect's trial sword tournament, 7 disciples have cultivated Spring Thunder Sword technique to great perfection. And 2 people have the Spring Thunder Sword technique to the supreme attainment. Splendid, truly worthy of being Qinzhou's finest top prodigies. But listen well, this upcoming Qinzhou Sword Dao tournament is no ordinary event. There are still 2 months left. You must not slack off. In order to ensure you seize a spot in the top 10, the sect master himself will personally instruct you in cultivation. Understood? The sect master will personally instruct us. Is this for real? Did something happen? I've been in the sect all this time, yet I've never even seen the sect master once. The reason is not for you to know now. Just do everything you can to take the top 10. In addition, we've received confirmed information that a hidden sect within Qinzhou has also sent disciples to participate in the Qinzhou Sword Dao tournament. A hidden sect, this makes things troublesome. Above Qinzhou is the Jin Nation, and above Jin Nation are the 10 nations. It is said that the 10 nations once suffered a great upheaval, some colossal sects perished, and a portion of their core forces hid themselves in remote places. Some hidden sects continue through one direct line, carrying supreme inheritances. These sects can't even be compared with the 4th Thunder Sword sect. The Four Thunder Sword Sect's Grand Hall. We pay our respects to the Sect Master. No need for formalities. Today, I have summoned you all for a matter of great importance. Today, I have summoned you all for a matter of great importance. May we ask, Sect Master, what exactly has happened? Yes, Sect Master, what has happened? Is it perhaps related to the Taishian Sword Tower token? No, if it were only about the Taishian Sword Tower token, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Do you all know about 10 Nations Academy? The 10 Nations Academy? Could it be that the legendary academy is about to recruit students again? The 10 Nations Academy, the most prestigious immortal cultivation academy on the entire continent. Even the students at the very bottom there could become great figures of the continent, but their process of recruiting new disciples is extremely strict and shrouded in mystery. Sometimes they don't even recruit any disciples for 10 years straight. It is an academy countless cultivators yearn for, yet can never reach. Sect Master, you mean, the Jin Nation's Imperial Court will send people to the Sword Dao tournament again this time? Correct, just like before, the Imperial Court will secretly dispatch a special envoy to select promising talents, and send them to take the 10 Nations Academy examination, and I already know who that person is. What, you already know who that person is? Who is that person? On the Xianwu continent, the Imperial Court's status stands slightly higher than that of the immortal sects. If it were the number one immortal sect in the Jin Nation, the Jin Nation Court would naturally show some deference, but for a sect like Qingzhou's number one, while we've some influence, it is still not enough to surpass the court. Everyone, take a look at this. What a beautiful painting, it's the style of Qinglian Hermit. What does this painting mean? Could it be the person in this painting is the special envoy? Qinglian Hermit completely disappeared half a year ago. Think about it, where could he have gone? Could he have joined some small sect to cultivate immortality? Impossible. With his fame, even if he wanted to join our Four Thundersword sect, we would gladly accept him with both hands, without the slightest hesitation. From what I know, within the Jin Nation Court there is a peerless swordsman, who once was a genius of the 10 Nations Academy. But for some unknown reason, he was expelled from the academy and later became Jin Nation's Inspector General Commander. The world only knows of the Taishu Sword Sovereign, yet few realize that this inspector has also stepped into the realm of sword intent. And since Qinglian Hermit's new work has appeared here, it is highly likely that the person is in the Jin Nation. Yes, my reasoning cannot be wrong. It is also said that this Inspector General is not only a peerless swordsman, but also extraordinarily handsome, in Jin Nation. Who among us wouldn't recognize such a person? Sect Master, all of this is still your guess. Do you have any concrete proof? Hee, of course I have. Now, do you still think I guess wrong? There is sword intent within the painting. There are only two possibilities. Either the painter himself touched the realm of sword intent. Clearly, Qinglian Hermit is not a cultivator. Then only one possibility remains. The person in the painting was able to condense the supreme sword intent and imprint it into the scroll. Therefore, the person in the painting is definitely the special envoy. Sect Master is truly perceptive, as expected of our Sect Master, to deduce so much from just a few details. The Sect Master is indeed a man of divine insight. Humph, of course. There is another reason. This Inspector General is known to have no love for wealth or women. He only loves to travel mountains and rivers, and experience the world. Sometimes he even trades the national treasures bestowed upon the king for money to spend frivolously. And this painting was something I happened to acquire in Baigui ancient city, according to the shopkeeper. The one who sold the painting looked extremely similar to the person in the painting, perfectly matches his style. Indeed, some great experts roam the mountains, take out their flying swords and gift it to an ordinary farmer just to trade for a single piece of fruit. Sect Master, do you want us to curry favor with him? No, we must deliberately try to curry favor with him. We must seal the news. A figure of such stature has seen everything. Such petty tricks would only earn his disgust. If we truly encounter him, we may respectfully seek guidance. Perhaps that might gain his goodwill. Truly, I possess great wisdom. Without me, what would this sect even do? At night, on the other side. The mantra of God's and demon body refining method cannot be cultivated for now. It's too risky to cultivate it now. As for whether I can use pills to stimulate my spiritual energy, I'd better ask senior brother first. I mustn't act recklessly. Junior brother. I am your sect's second senior brother, Su Luochen. Just call me senior brother Luochen. Second senior brother? Second senior brother actually came of his own accord. Greetings, senior brother Luochen. Junior brother, senior brother has been occupied with matters recently, so he asked me to teach you the art of alchemy. Second senior brother, could it be that senior brother thinks my talent is too poor, so? Junior brother, senior brother is a good man at heart, but since this is his first time teaching someone else, so don't take his temperament too much to heart. In the path of immortality, every field has geniuses. Just because you are not talented in swordsmanship does not mean you are not talented in other fields. Do not be too disheartened. Well, second senior brother, I'm not disheartened. I'll just work harder on sword practice and make senior brother acknowledge me. Okay, enough talking, let's begin with alchemy. Yes. There are 3,000 Tao, none is higher or lower than another, yet Tao of alchemy contains the profound mysteries of heaven and earth. Junior brother Yi, in your opinion, what kind of existence is the strongest alchemist? The strongest alchemist? What kind of existence could that be? This question sounds strangely familiar. In your opinion, what is the ultimate form of the sword? Could second senior brother also be a hidden expert? In reply to senior brother Luochen, I think the strongest alchemist stands above all else. A single pill of theirs could drive countless experts into madness. No matter how peerless a genius may be, their path eventually reaches its end. But an alchemist can defy the heavens and alter destiny itself. A single life-extending pill, refined by an alchemist, can prolong the life of even the strongest cultivator by 100 or even 1,000 of years. So, even the most powerful cultivators must show some respect to alchemists. Some even go to great lengths to curry favor and win them over, which indirectly becomes the alchemist's power. Your thinking is way too shallow, think more boldly. Replying to senior brother, I believe the strongest pill should be able to improve a person's physique. It could transform a person with extremely poor talent into the most gifted cultivator under heaven, enhance their luck, and even allow them to become an immortal. Still too shallow, let me tell you, the truly strongest alchemist no longer refines pills, but refines heaven and earth. Every pill they refine is itself a world. That's what makes them the truly strongest alchemist. Refining heaven and earth? Every pill itself is a world? I've read so many novels before I've transmigrated, but I've never read about such a terrifying alchemist. All things are pills, heaven and earth are pills, the universe itself is a pill, everything in the world is a pill. What a terrifying realm this is. The Tao of alchemy can be this powerful? It's no weaker than the sword Tao at all. Now I'm fired up again. Second senior brother, you haven't really reached this realm, have you? Something like that. Another hidden expert. Just what is going on with our sect? Don't tell me everyone here is a peerless expert. Second brother has absolutely no reason to lie to me. That made-up story wasn't bad. Quite impressive actually. Have I been with that Su Changyu guy for too long? This is not a good sign. Refining heaven and earth into pills, my ass, show me you can refine it. But you haven't been in contact with the Tao of alchemy yet, so your second senior brother can only teach you the most basic fundamentals of alchemy for now. Do you understand? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with small steps. I naturally understand, senior brother, thank you for your guidance. As the saying goes, every medicine has its side effect. Within heaven and earth, every pill contains toxicity, and even the most skilled alchemist cannot strip it away. But today, the method your senior brother will teach you is non-toxin alchemy. It has absolutely no toxicity, and no side effects whatsoever. If my peers knew I was bragging like this, they'd probably slap my mouth to pieces. Stay calm, I need to keep making things up. The root cause of pill toxicity lies in the medicinal ingredients. No matter how you refine it, the medicinal properties of the medicinal ingredients and toxicity are in a coexisting relationship. If the toxicity is gone, then the medicinal properties are gone too. The core of non-toxin alchemy is to not use medicinal ingredients. Not to use medicinal ingredients, then what do you use to refine? Sounds ridiculous, right? A little. But remember, when you know nothing of something, it's only natural you won't believe it. For example, when you were still a mortal, if someone told you sword immortals exist who could split open heaven with a single strike, would you have believed it? Second senior brother, I understand, it's the meaning of a frog at the bottom of the well. Correct, the life of medicinal ingredients comes from the spiritual energy between heaven and earth. Spiritual energy is inherently pure, but during the growth process, it is tainted by the 5 elements, and this condenses into impure energy. And non-toxic alchemy skips the raw ingredients and directly condenses the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to refine top-grade pills. No need for raw ingredients, directly condense, top-grade pills. Is that truly possible? But on closer thought, it's completely logical. Medicinal ingredients are merely another form of spiritual energy, so why go to great lengths when the solution is right in front of one's eyes? By the way, senior brother, can someone like me, without a spiritual root, take chi-refining pills to increase spiritual energy? You can, but nobody does it. Why not? Because the effect is not great, and the pills are way too expensive. Nurturing spiritual veins this way requires prolonged and extensive consumption of elixirs. Even great sects and immortal clans cannot afford such consumption. Just as I suspected, but I'm still so disappointed. What should I do about the spiritual energy problem? Alright, let's begin. Your second senior brother will first teach you the most basic alchemy. Yes, second senior brother. What a well-behaved child, Su Changyu, oh Su Changyu. Look at what it means to be a proper master. Sigh, he has no patience at all. How will he inherit the position of sect leader in the future? Should I compete for the sect leader position in the future? Jinglin Mountains. Master, junior brother Luochen is watching our junior brother at sect by himself. He won't get into trouble, right? Luochen? He'll be fine, that boy is steady by nature, resilient too, no matter what happens. He'll keep things under control. Don't worry, no need to worry. Humph? What? What's that sound? Haha, it's just a mouse. Look at you, scared stiff, and you call yourself a cultivator. I already told you, the outer region of the Jinglin Mountains won't have any large demon beasts. Early morning. In the early morning, I enter the old temple. The first rays of sunlight bathes the tall forest. A narrow path leads into a secluded and quiet place where the meditation hall is surrounded by dense flowers and trees. The mountain light cheers the birds. The pond's reflection clears and calms people's hearts. All 10,000 sounds fall silent here. Only the tolling of bells and chimes is heard. Ah, what a beautiful cultivation world, yet, of all things, there's no spiritual energy here. I've already learned the basic cultivation method for alchemy yesterday, but it also requires gathering spiritual energy. Sigh. Right now, the most important thing is to quickly catch up on my cultivation knowledge. I'll make a trip to the scripture pavilion Master mentioned. Even if I can't find a solution, it won't hurt to broaden my knowledge of cultivation. Qingyun Dao Sect, the scripture pavilion. Look at this simple, neat style. It's totally different from bustling, popular temples outside. This is the true style of a hidden Taoist sect. External vanity is way too low class for them. For example, why is there always only a single incense stick in the censer outside the sect's main hall? Could it be that Qingyun Dao sect can't afford incense sticks? Ha ha ha, that's obviously impossible. How could a sect be that poor? Rather, it's the belief that sincerity brings spirituality. If one is sincere, one stick of incense is enough. If one isn't sincere, even mountain of incense offerings can't bring good fortune. There are profound truths everywhere. 10 dragons, 10 elephants primordial spiritual technique. The immortal path double pupil opening method perfectly unlocks the supreme vision, true dragon's supreme great divine power. Heavenly Emperor's sword technique, 3,600 immortal acupoints mystic method, 36 heavenly dipper divine abilities, 72 earthly fiend Tao method. This, just reading their names alone, they are impressive. to think that these secret manuals are casually placed on the bookshelf like this, without any protection. Is this what a hidden sect is like? I love it, I love it! Yiping, you have to calm down. The more excited you are, the more you must not lose yourself, maintain a normal heart, and stay calm. You have to eat your food one bite at a time. You have to walk the path one step at a time. The next day. Humph, is it already morning? Sigh, I feel like I've just gotten into the groove, but it's a shame, I have to start today's cultivation training. I've at least gotten a basic understanding of this world and its cultivation methods. I never thought that the imperial dynasty's power in a cultivation world would still be so immense. Although they only manage mortals, their power is even greater than that of the immortal sects. But from another angle it makes sense. The earliest resources for cultivating immortals must have been controlled by imperial power. Over a long period of time, over the long years, social hierarchies have solidified, making them difficult to shake. If I had known this, why would I have participated in a spirit examination assembly? I should have just taken the imperial examinations, become the top scholar, and then I wouldn't have to worry about being unable to cultivate once I entered the court. By the way, I wonder what happened to those paintings and books I've collected in my old house. But if I truly did join the imperial court, wouldn't I have missed out on this hidden sect? This is probably what the book says. A loss may turn out to be a gain, hee. Little junior brother. What are you doing here? We've been here for so long but haven't officially met. I am your little senior sister, Chenlin Gru. Hello. So beautiful, little senior sister is. Why is your face red? No, it's just too hot. Little junior brother, you must work hard. In a few days, your little senior sister will also teach you the Supreme Tao. The Supreme Tao? Could this little senior sister also be? No, Yiping, what are you thinking? This little senior sister looks younger than me. How could she possibly be a peerless master? Oh, by the way, senior sister, I have something I want to ask you. What is it? Feel free to ask. Can I cultivate this secret manual? 3600 Immortal Acupoints Mystic Method. Yes, of course. What's stopping you from cultivating this? If I cultivate this without spiritual energy, won't I go into chi deviation? No, these are all very basic cultivation methods. How could you go into chi deviation? They are all fake street goods. If you could go into chi deviation, that would be crazy. Little junior brother? What's wrong, little junior brother? This is great. My spiritual root can, finally be saved. Little junior brother, what's wrong? It's nothing, little senior sister. I've finally found the cultivation method that suits me best. That's wonderful. Now you must cultivate even more diligently. You must believe in yourself. Oh, and from now on don't call me little senior sister, just call me senior sister Linger. Okay, senior sister Linger. I was just passing by. I'll be heading back now. Bye, senior sister Linger. I can't talk too long, or I'll be exposed. Just a quick hello is enough. The general content of this manual 3600 Immortal Acupoints Mystic Method is quite simple. It explains that the human body is actually like a demon beast, containing countless hidden golden treasures. But all of them are sealed within the body's acupoints. If one opens these acupoints, the body can, like a demon beast, naturally absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth on its own. With each acupoint one opens, the speed of spiritual energy absorption doubles. If one opens all 3600 immortal acupoints, then one's cultivation speed would be 3600 times that of an ordinary person. My biggest problem is that my cultivation aptitude is very poor. What they call no spiritual root actually means my ability to absorb heaven and earth energy is extremely weak. But if I can master this 3600 immortal acupoints mystic method, wouldn't that completely make up for my flaw? By now, I've already comprehended the basics of the Four Thunder Sword technique, ancient mantra of gods and demons body cultivation method, and second senior brother's non-toxic alchemy. All I lack now is spiritual energy. Once I have spiritual energy, how strong will I become? I can't even imagine. No, stop thinking about it. Time to cultivate Immortal Acupoints Mystic Method. At last, my good days are about to begin. Meanwhile, Jinglin Mountains. Chan Yu, run quickly, I've still got an Earth Escape talisman in my pocket, otherwise we'll both die here today. What nonsense are you spouting, old man? You think I'd be an ungrateful bastard and run off? Forget it, no way. Stay put there and don't move, it's not time to run yet. When did this kid's back look so tall and steady? Could it be that this kid is hiding a secret trump card? But even so, there's no way he can defeat an enemy 2 realms above. But why do I feel safe? Take this. Go to die. For me. Beep. Ouch. That's it. Alright, I've finished showing off. I can die without regrets now. Do you really have to pretend to be this powerful? Master, see you in the next life. I'll still be your disciple. Goodbye. I don't want a disciple as pretentious as you in my next life. What demon beast dares to act so wildly before me? Boom. That outfit you are. You 2 weaklings with such low cultivation, what are you doing running into the Jinglin Mountains? You came here to become the demon beast snack? Master, look quickly, isn't that 3rd elder of 4 Thunder Sect from the posters? Humph? Wait a minute, isn't that? Master, he really looks like the special envoy in the painting. What do you mean looks like? He really is him. Calm down, now is absolutely not the time to panic. Think carefully about the sect master's instructions. Stay calm, Chanyu, no matter what, don't lose your composure. Even if the other side belongs to one of the 3 great sects, you absolutely must not panic. Wait, why are these male disciples looking at me so strangely? Don't tell me, they like men? Damn it, I wouldn't be able to resist them at all. What should I do? Su Changyu's old habit, the more nervous he feels, the colder and more imposing his expression becomes. As expected of a sore master, just his gaze alone is so terrifying. The sect master instructed us clearly, we must never reveal that we know his true identity. But then, what am I supposed to say? Think, this is so awkward. Greetings to you too, fellow Taoists, might I ask what you're doing here? Don't stutter, stay calm, don't try to flatter him. Why so polite suddenly? What you're doing here? Why is she asking that kind of question? How am I supposed to answer? No. Nothing, we were just strolling around. Awkward. Humph? Fellow Taoist, are you injured? I happen to have a white dew spiritual muscle pill here that can heal your injuries. He definitely wouldn't care about an ordinary pill like this. But if he wants to roleplay, I'll just play along. It's not flattery, just good acting. I'm such a clever and quick-witted person. White dew spiritual muscle pill. Isn't that the kind of pill worth over 1,000 pieces of gold? Master, what's going on? Why is she being so nice to us? Perhaps this is just the cultivation virtue and upbringing of a disciple from a great sect, helping the weak when traveling around. I don't think it's that simple. If something is strange, there must be a reason. It's best to retreat while we can. Many thanks, but the 2 of us have urgent matters to attend to. The road is long, if fate allows, we'll meet again. Wait. See, I knew it, of course there's a catch. I've something I'd like to ask of you. I knew it, there's always a price to pay. They clearly have ulterior motives. What if they're planning to halve our kidneys? May I ask, what do you believe the true sword path truly is? Oh no, did I come across as too flattering just now? But I really couldn't hold myself back. What kind of question is this? They just get weirder and weirder. Su Changyu's passive pretentious technique has been triggered. Oh? The true sword path, you ask? That's an excellent question. You've asked the right person. You brat, what are you trying to do? They're from one of the 3 great sects. Hold yourself back, don't pretend. Master, I can no longer hold myself back. This single blade of grass, this is the true sword path. A single blade of grass is the path of the sword. What does that mean? I've never heard such a saying before. I'm doomed. Is there a crack in the ground somewhere? I want to crawl in and hide. This junior is dull-witted. Could you please explain in more detail? The path of the sword lies within one's heart. Wherever the heart leads, the sword follows. Alright, I shouldn't say too much. One sword shatters the stars, Su Changyu's improved version. The ultimate profound meaning of showing off, I don't understand it. I think I've comprehended it. Yes, that's right, I really have comprehended it. Damn it, am I the only one who didn't comprehend? That would clearly mean I have the worst comprehension. No way, even if it's true, I absolutely cannot let discovered by others. Ha ha ha, I've also comprehended it, me too, as expected of a sword master, simple and easy to comprehend. Sword master? Did they mistake me for someone else? What the hell did you all just comprehend? Are you all crazy? Forget it. I've said all that needed to be said. As for how much you can comprehend, it depends on each of your own talent. If fate allows, we shall meet again. So cool, we can now say we've met a true master. We can brag about him once we return to the sect. Meanwhile, the back mountain of the Qingyun Dao sect. I've found the immortal acupoint in my body. But I didn't expect the immortal acupoint would also require a vast amount of spiritual energy to activate. With my waste spiritual root, where am I supposed to get all that spiritual energy? Aren't I back to the starting point again? And I can't shake the feeling, even the most basic cultivation methods, such as breath absorption, are in fact the most complex. I should put myself in the mindset of the first cultivator who ever created the method of guiding qi into the body, rather than thinking only about the surface. Guiding qi into the body may seem simple, but in reality, all cultivators are just following others' paths, without knowing why. They are just picking up the scraps of others' wisdom. Just like mathematics in a previous life, even a 3-year-old knows that 1 + 1 = 2, but they don't know the reason behind 1 + 1 = 2. If I can figure out the 1 + 1 problem of spiritual energy in cultivation, then I'll be qualified to walk my own path. Regardless of its success or failure, it will inevitably be unique. I can't afford to waste any more time. I must seize every moment I have. If I can't figure it out, I'll change my approach and keep trying. I will definitely succeed. Time flies like a fleeting horse. In the blink of an eye, 7 days have passed. Sigh, still no progress. Forget it. Yiping's residence. I should draw a picture to relax and change my mind. I feel like drawing is still what I love most. The weather's nice today, so I'll draw a pure landscape. Junior brother. You can draw too? Your senior brother long wanted to commission someone to draw a portrait of me. Can you draw a portrait for me? Of course I can. Do you need a background? Background? What do I need that for? No need, just a pure portrait, value -60%. No problem, I'll do my best to draw it. You taught me alchemy, and I was just worrying about how to repay you. Second senior brother, I've finished the drawing. So fast? Aye, so it turns out I'm this handsome. I thought you were just an amateur. I didn't expect you to be so professional. No, senior brother, you overpraise me. By the way, senior brother Luochen, would you like me to write a poem on it? No need, it's fine as it is. Write a poem? What's the point of writing that? The main thing is to show my own image. Writing a poem might ruin the aesthetics. Value -70%. I was just a bit worried about your safety during cultivation. Seeing that there's no problem, I can rest easy. I'll head back first. Alright, senior brother, take care. When master and senior brother come back, I'll show them too. They will definitely praise me for being as handsome as Su Changyu. Actually, writing a poem isn't bad. No matter, I'll write one myself when I get back. Value -90%. While drawing for senior brother just now, I suddenly had a subtle feeling of sudden enlightenment. I must quickly draw another one. This time I'll draw what I'm best at, pure landscape. Dot. Outline. Sweep. Die. Lift. It's done. Painting itself is Tao, and Tao itself is painting. The painting moves with the heart. The Tao follows nature. Indeed, rather than stubbornly absorbing spiritual energy into the body, it's better to open the mind and let immortal acupoint integrate with heaven and earth. The immortal acupoint is the heaven and earth, and the heaven and earth is the immortal acupoint. Only then can it be endless. All things have spirit. Spiritual energy willing to integrate will naturally do so, and if unwilling, there is no need to force it. The candle dragon's immortal acupoint. As the immortal acupoint is continually satisfied with spiritual energy and opens, one will gradually obtain an ancient inheritance. Candle dragon? Xiuxian? No way. Even in his previous life, Yi Ping knew that the Xiuxian was one of the most terrifying divine beasts recorded in the classic of mountains and seas, Xiuxian. It has the face of a human and body of a snake, red in color, thousands of miles long, the god of Mount Zhong. Even in the ancient texts of the Orthodox sect, it is recorded that it is the founder of everything in the world. It commands both time and space, able to return to the past and journey into the future. It knows all things. When its eyes open, day begins, and when they close, night falls, omnipotent, formless, and boundless. Whether it's Xiuxian or not, now that I've opened my immortal acupoint, I should be able to cultivate the god-demon body refining method. Let's give it a try. Before I start cultivating, I need to adjust this painting a bit first. Now that's better. Clearing away the fog to see the blue sky. When the state of mind changes, the painting naturally changes with it. Second senior brother's cultivation cliff, Xiuxian was meditating in silence. The sky had been peaceful, but suddenly dark clouds gathered. Boom! A bolt of lightning struck, startling Xiuxian. He turned around, his face serious as he looked into the distance. Then Xiuxian stood up, observed for a while, and muttered, "This thundercloud, could it be that?" It couldn't be. Suddenly realizing something, Xiuxian shouted in panic, "This is bad." Then he rushed back toward the sect, muttering as he ran, "It's going to rain heavily, isn't it? I haven't collected the clothes yet." Those hanging up are Su Changyu's most treasured clothes for showing off. Yi Ping's dwelling, dark clouds surged and thunder roared. Inside Yi Ping's body, the immortal apertures were connecting together, forming the shape of a dragon. Yi Ping stood motionless, eyes closed, and in that instant, spiritual energy within hundreds of miles surged toward him like madness. Yi Ping opened his eyes, looked at his palm, feeling the flow of spiritual energy pouring violently into his body, then said, after the immortal aperture was opened, spiritual energy poured into the body like a surging river. I don't need to do anything at all. The immortal aperture is accepting it completely automatically. I heard Master mention it. Isn't automatic cultivation a skill only mastered at the nascent soul stage? Moreover, even at the nascent soul stage, I haven't heard of an absorption speed as exaggerated as that of the immortal aperture, have I? For ordinary cultivators, drawing spiritual energy into the body and then refining it to make it their own, that is the meaning of qi refining. But for Yi Ping, who possessed an immortal aperture, the process of qi refining was completely different. The spiritual energy willingly entered and directly became his own without the need for refining. At this moment, Yi Ping still did not know that the cultivation path he had embarked on was completely different from traditional cultivation, a path of cultivation unique to himself. He suddenly felt puzzled, slapped his forehead, frowned, and muttered, "But then again, even with such terrifying speed, only one immortal aperture has been opened. The second immortal aperture shows no sign of movement at all." Then Yi Ping sighed and said, "Never mind, since the second aperture won't open anytime soon, then I'll start cultivating the primordial divine demon body refining art." He took a deep breath. Yi Ping raised his hand high, spiritual energy surged toward his palm, and he shouted, and thus borrowed the power of the great earth. Then he struck the ground with a palm accompanied by a chant. Use spiritual energy to connect with the power of heaven and earth, to transform into a supreme furnace. As soon as he finished, the power of the earth condensed into a massive crimson bronze cauldron. Yi Ping changed his stance, stood tall, raised his hands to the sky, and shouted, "Then, use heavenly might to transform into a divine hammer." Thunder echoed throughout heaven and earth, the power of the sky condensed into a divine hammer descending down. Seeing the sight before him, Yi Ping was filled with excitement. It's done! Once spiritual energy was the guide, it really succeeded. But at this moment, the sky suddenly changed, a vortex of purple energy formed above, surrounded by intense lightning. Yiping furrowed his brows, sweat dripping down as panic filled his heart. Hey, wait a minute, this power isn't right, is it? This is a bit too strong, is this something the current me can? Before he could finish the thought, a straight beam of light from the heavens struck down toward Yiping. He had no power to resist, he could only stand there and watch as the energy descended upon him. Yiping's pupils contracted, terror flashing in his eyes. The impact caused an explosion that shook heaven and earth. In an instant, half of Yiping's body was blown away by the energy. Yiping's eyes rolled white, panic overwhelming his mind. His face turned pale, sweat poured down, and through gritted teeth he murmured, "Am I going to die?" Yiping was in chaos, his lifeless eyes unable to comprehend what had just happened. Suddenly, his pupils dilated, he sensed a change within his body, his entire form trembled. Two immortal apertures burst forth with surging spiritual energy. The destroyed part of his body began to regenerate. In the blink of an eye, Yiping's entire body had been restored. He gasped heavily, as though he had just returned from the gates of death, his face still filled with shock. At this moment, the bronze cauldron in front of him suddenly burst into fierce flames, the temperature rose sharply, and sparks wove densely across the ground. Yiping used spiritual energy to form a protective sphere around himself against the fire. However, the sparks gathered toward him, slipping through the barrier and seeping inside. In an instant, Yiping's entire body was engulfed in flames. He screamed and struggled. The pain was beyond limits, to the point of numbness. His entire body resembled molten rock cracking apart, his figure shrouded in raging flames suspended in the air. His face twisted beyond recognition, his body still writhing within the sea of fire. Not long after, the flames gradually subsided. His charred body fell to the ground, parts of it turned to ash. His hand was deformed and twisted, reduced to blackened bone. Suddenly, Yiping's eyes shot open wide, pupils shrinking, blood vessels bulging densely. His body began to twist and convulse like a zombie awakening. Yiping threw his head back and howled toward the sky. He staggered to his feet, leaning forward slightly, new skin forming over the blood-red flesh, spreading from his left hand up to his arm. In an instant, blue light burst out, enveloping Yiping, his body regenerating rapidly, a new solid form replacing the frail one he had before. His skin became fairer and smoother, his appearance more refined, and most of all, his aura rose dramatically. Yiping's body reached its limit, he was completely exhausted, his long black hair draped over his bare body as he collapsed face first onto the ground. After one stick of incense. Pain. An unbearable, unforgettable pain. Cough, cough. But I like it,